people. Happy, no, not happy. Well, it's happy day if you want it to be a happy day. Have whatever day you want to have. But it is Tuesday, the 5th of March. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. As always, you have amazing hosts. We introduce ourselves.
It's your boy, 6 foot plus of pure temptation, Big Moss from the east side of the bridge.
What? No, good morning.
Morning. Don't have an all right morning. Don't need a good one.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like have the morning that you want to have today. That's the kind of energy I'm on today. Whatever morning you feel like having, go forth and have that.
It's not every day good morning.
It's not every day good morning.
You don't think everyone wants to have a good morning?
No.
Good start to the day?
Some people trust me, man. Some people wake up
just
with a spirit.
Some people hate having a good morning.
Brent, what happened?
I think we're live on Instagram now.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, let's see.
Nice.
Let me go on there.
Live on Instagram. That means we have to always be centered.
Okay, all right.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay.
I can adjust it.
Oh, thank you. Here we are.
So, with being live,
Close and personal.
I can't hear you, Mike, Brent.
with being live,
Yes.
can Instagram users share it, or do they just like? Can you?
Oh, can I share it?
Yeah. Can you
Yes,
share it?
I can DM it to people.
Huh?
Oh, we can't put it as a story, innit?
No, you can't.
Oh.
Share to you can only share it.
But I guess everyone gets a notification saying TMB's live,
Yeah,
innit?
it will.
That's if they're following.
That's if they're following.
True.
Okay.
Unless you were to have gone live with all of us, but
Okay.
my edges are laid, boy.
'Cause I want to know how
Okay,
to get,
girl.
how to get his audience knowing that we're doing what we're doing.
So you'd have to go live with him.
I have to start a live with him.
Yeah, and then that way it would just show that he's on live.
I wonder how I can do that. Ah,
Oh,
I
But
know.
wouldn't Marks have to have
I
his
can
camera
go.
up? Like?
I
Nah,
can
he
go
can just close
live on your
Just put it down.
account.
Potentially.
Yes.
So you're going lateral on. This way you were
I
going
don't
with
know
the
why you
story.
just said potentially. It's just like you being live.
What you say?
It's just like you being live. I don't even have to have access to your account. I just need your stream key. But anyway, I'll talk about this afterwards. This is good. This is good still. You're such a wicked. You're so dumb. You're so silly.
Did you think you going live on his page is going to come at the cost of nothing? It's going to make you work for it. Whatever, however, even if you have to get for 1 second, you're going to make some kind of payment, sir. But guys, as always, your favorite shade queen, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
Wonderful. How's everybody today?
All right, man. Good.
Love that.
We thank God.
Brent, how are you, sir?
Blessed and highly favored. Let's say good morning to the chat.
See how they're doing.
Morning, Von. Good
Can
morning.
you guys let us know how you're doing every morning? Let us know what what your vibe is like today.
Yeah.
Do wellness checks. Just throw some numbers in the group.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being top of the world, and 1 being I'm not suicidal, but if I died, I wouldn't be shocked by it. I have moments like that sometimes. Let us know how you're feeling. 1 to 5.
Okay. Good morning, Von. Good morning, Power Wall. Good morning, Imi Snow Globe. Good morning, Everest. Good morning, Crud Crew. Good morning, Izzy Bambino. Good morning, Babiel. Good morning, Davina. Good morning, Lala. Good morning, Crucial J. Good morning, Tawfik. Good morning, Oyen B.
Babiel was a funny character. He's the one that edited the clip yesterday, right? Was that you?
No, he did it.
He did, yeah. I saw he threw in Charlie's stuff in there. I forgot that man. I was like, oh yeah, he is.
Did you say you forgot that black man?
I said I forgot about that man. In fact, Joe, I know that. I know he's not black. But yeah, guys, let us know how you're doing. Hope you guys are well and all that great stuff. We've got coming from Spotify. Name is Curtis Jackson. I don't know if it's 50 Cent. Literally, since it's Curtis Jackson, I said, oh. And the comment says, let Esther know I have a crush on her, man. Trying to make a wife out of her.
Okay.
I'm trying to make a wife out of myself too. Yeah, man, I don't like when people tell me they've got crushes on me.
You don't like, is it?
Let me know what you look like.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, Actually, no.
So you're telling me basically you're saying DM you.
Yeah, but I realized I don't reply to messages. So it's alright, Spotify's great. It's great. Yeah, I'm just not a very unserious candidate anyway. Anyway.
So you know our mutual enemy is gathering the troops.
Which who?
Hay fever, man.
Not again. In March.
It's about to start. They haven't attacked it yet.
Are you starting to feel
Not really, but I know.
it's in the air, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's why I've been breathing funny.
Maybe.
Because sometimes there's just a change, because I've got asthma, but sometimes there's a change in my breathing. Like, when I'm exercising, I feel like I have to like gasp sometimes to really gather as much oxygen as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps, actually. Perhaps.
Gotta be careful, man. Gotta start taking them antihistamines or something.
Boy, stay woke. Lest you get got. I'm looking forward to some of that. I'm just so tired of the cold. I just can't. But it's getting lighter later.
Yes.
Yeah, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's always positive. Nearly there.
Yeah, the mornings are better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So sometimes there's a little bit of sun peeking through in places. It's like sunny. It's
Yeah.
like cold. It's like cold sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like for the light purposes kind of vibe. Yeah, but I love it, man. I'm going to be in heat soon anyway, so I love that for us.
Ain't that thing.
Yeah. All right. Should we get into our headlines?
Let's do it. All right, guys. So our first headline: the MP that people love to hate, George Galloway, has been sworn in as an MP following his successful election last week. He will now represent Rochdale following a by-election triggered by the death of Labour's Sir Tony Lloyd. Mr. Galloway romped to victory with a majority, with independent runner David Tully finishing in second place, the Conservatives in third and Labour in fourth. Labour withdrew their support from their candidate following allegations of anti-Semitism. Mr. Galloway was introduced to the Commons by the Conservative MP Sir Peter Bottomley and Albert MP Neil Hanvey. There was a silence in the chamber as he arrived and completed the formalities, including shaking the Speaker's hand. Normally there's cheering from allies of the new MP. Next headline takes us to America. You know, Trump is getting closer, you know. He's getting closer, man. So the Supreme Court ruled on Monday that the former President Donald Trump should appear on the ballot in Colorado in a decision that follows months of debate over whether the frontrunner of the GOP nomination violated the insurrectionist clause included in the 14th Amendment. The ruling means that the former president will be able to run to be the state's presidential candidate in its primary election on Tuesday, today. The 9 justices of the Supreme Court ruled unanimously against the Colorado decision that Trump should be disqualified. The decision was made under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which prevents those who engaged in insurrection from holding office. The Supreme Court justices concluded states have no power under the Constitution to enforce Section 3 with respect to federal offices, especially presidency. The Supreme Court has until now never ruled on this amendment, making it an unprecedented case. And our last headline brings us back to the UK, where Rishi Sunak has suffered his heaviest defeat in the House of Lords after the Archbishop of Canterbury and former Conservative ministers joined forces with the opposition to force through 5 amendments to the Rwandan deportation bill. A string of government setbacks, most passed by unusually large margins of about 100 votes, means the legislation, which aims to clear the way to send asylum seekers on a one-way flight to Kigali, will have to go back to the Commons. All this back and forth, this is just unnecessary, man. In all, peers backed changes to the bill on Monday night that included ensuring it complied with the rule of law and that Parliament cannot declare Rwanda to be safe until the treaty with its promised safeguards are fully implemented. The Lords also supported a move that would allow the presumption that the country is a secure haven to be challenged in the courts. If they can do all of this type of stuff, then there's no way they're going to get anyone to Rwanda. Yeah, there's too many things and too many roadblocks. But rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. But anyway, that's it for the headlines, guys.
Lovely. Let's get into our What You Saying topic of the day.
All right, so our topic of the day is sent in by the same person who gave us topic of the day yesterday, Mr. Usher, the Nigerian TDA listener who lives in America.
Big up you.
You know what I'm saying? Big him up every time with this amazing topic of the days. And today the question is, do we need more homogeneity in Africa? Is Africa being fractured with multiple cultures and tribes a problem as to why it is not a superpower?
No, because Africa is made up of hella tribes.
Yeah, but is that the problem? Is that the reason why it's not a superpower? Is because there's so many of us, so many different, I guess, interests. The reason why we can't come together properly and, you know, defend ourselves.
No, I think the reason is because people are thieves.
So you think the problem...
Lying, thieving, B-words. That's why Africa is how it is.
Okay. So, okay, but that same reason that you're saying, if we were one group, or let's just say a lot less than the 10,000 different tribes, do you think it would be easier to stop all of that thieving and nonsense?
Nah, because humans are human beings.
Okay.
Like there's just people that are everyone's mind is shaped and motives are shaped differently. There's people who are more people person, there's people who care more about communities, people who just want to do for themselves as in steal for themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like so I think the problem with broken societies is human beings. I don't think it's the variety of culture.
Yeah.
It's the humans, it's the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marks, Brent, what do you think?
I don't know. You know, my tribe game ain't
You're up there.
up there like that. I only know like
Tribe game is lit.
you know like it was Yoruba, innit?
That's it.
Igbo, Shayo.
You're such an egg. You know, if Burna Boy ever heard that, like, you can pull the songs from everywhere. You'd never listen to the song again.
Well, is that not how it was meant to be?
No comment.
I mean, I don't know, because Africa's a continent, it's all the different countries anyway,
Yeah.
so...
But like, if you compare, I guess, Africa to other continents, we're far more diverse. You know what I'm saying? And we're the only one that's kind of had the level of exploitation. You know what I'm saying, that we've had.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even know how you even begin to attack that. Ain't there enough differences between the countries? Each country's got different tribes in it.
Yep.
Yeah. Even in one country, there's different tribes.
This is what I'm saying.
In Nigeria alone, there's crazy amount of tribes. How much more in other countries as well?
If you do it individually, would Nigeria be more... What's the word? That's a big word.
Homogeneous.
Homogeneous. If there was no tribes, if it was just one thing. Would you like that? And the tribe wasn't Yoruba?
Yeah, for real. No, I wouldn't.
Huh?
I would not like it at all.
No, I wouldn't at all.
No, at all.
So if it's not good for Nigeria, how can it be good for the whole continent?
But I guess my answer to that would be, I would be happy if all of us had one sort of understanding and we said, okay, this is a new thing. We can all be our individual tribes, still do whatever we're doing. But under this new banner, this is what we kind of operate. So it's almost like kind of having your own belief system in your house. And in the same way everyone has their own religions. In your house, you do your own thing. And when you step out of the house, we're all one. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you're not getting rid of us, our belief systems, our practices, our mores, our folkways, and all them type of things there, as long as we can keep those things, but then we can kind of have a new thing, kind of like to some degree what we have in the UK, in you know, UK Black British culture. Like all of us are from different cultures, you know what I'm saying, speak different languages at home. But when it comes to being Black British, there's something that we all kind of can cling on to and say, this is ours, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I'm seeing it.
What is it that you think aligns us then? So that it's just say like the Black British culture. What is it? What's the thing that you think we cling on to there? What is it?
I think we all kind of, okay, I guess we're going to kind of go into this, but I think there's like a lingua franca. So all of us speak English, right? That's one thing. All of us kind of have an understanding that I guess this isn't home. You know what I'm saying? And I think similar experiences is also a thing that kind of keeps us together. And obviously from a particular distance, we all look the same. You know what I'm saying? So there's that commonality, those commonalities amongst us that I feel like, cool, this is us. And with us being together for so long, we've kind of formed certain things. We've all brought things and put it in that same pot and then taken from it. And it's all tasted a bit different, but it's all our contribution.
So when you're going back to Africa now, you're doing Africa as a whole because...
Where?
Like west, north... Are you going to be uncles, and are you going to be aligned?
See, well, I guess that's what Pan-Africanism is. You know what I'm saying? Where it's kind of like we're all about the unity of African states. All of us having one agenda. So it's not like trying to make somebody from Sierra Leone a Nigerian or a Nigerian, someone from Ghana, but all of us being what we are. But for a particular purpose, we are one and in the same. You know what I'm saying? One and the same. And until we achieve those goals and objectives, then, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We don't deviate from that.
What other continents do that?
I don't know. I don't think any of those.
Would be the quick answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So why was the question
Posed.
Yeah.
I think it's probably because that's
This is Man in Black business, isn't it?
no, I was talking about because I think the question might be posed because it's probably looking to what would it need to be done to attack the situation of bringing Africa into a superpower, innit? With everything there, with all the resources there, as a continent, it has the potential to be a superpower. So it's probably looking at what would need to be done for it to get there. Maybe is that no? Do you reckon
As
that's
in to be the first superpower continent?
Not to be the first super, but I think it comes from the position, because his first question is like, to me anyway, it seems like, okay, all the exploitation, the colonialism, all these things that's occurred in Africa, to the extent it's happened, it's never happened in any other continent, right? Not in recent history, in the last, 1,000 years. Why is it Africa susceptible to this? Why was this experience unique to Africa? You know what I'm saying? Is it because of our diversity? You know what I'm saying? And I guess maybe if we can kind of reverse engineer, we can say, okay, cool, we can maybe keep the diversity there, but also understand that when we leave our homes, or maybe when we function in a particular space, we don't see ourselves as diverse anymore. We kind of come together and put those diversities, leave that diversity at the door.
Is there currently an African union?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
no? Because it's more like a African UN or something.
That's what I'm asking. Isn't there
there
currently
is.
one of those?
Yeah, there is.
So what are you talking about?
No, but that's an organization. Like
Well,
not
so
many.
is like the UN, right, in Europe?
Yeah.
So
And
if there's wherever the African organization is, that's where they would need to be aligned. You can still have the individual troops if the top of the things, I mean, the individual tribes and stuff. If the people that's leading the countries are all on the same wavelength, isn't it?
Yeah, but not all the time do, I guess, the policies and the thoughts of the leaders trickle down to the everyday person, innit? We have to believe in that particular thing. And then many of us back home, I guess, don't even know that these particular meetings occur. And look at us here. Like, how many of us care about what they discuss at the UN? You know what I'm saying? So why do we suppose that people back home would care about what goes on when they meet up?
No, I'm saying that you had first asked about being a superpower, right? And in my head, there are a few nations that are superpowers as opposed to continents.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
okay,
actually, yeah.
Cool. I get you.
Yeah, that makes actually sense, actually, innit?
Okay. I think, like I was saying, I think it's more so just looking at our past. How, like, what are the causes for the exploitation on that scale? You know what I'm saying? That happened in Africa, and how can maybe tomorrow we can, like, how can we prevent this? Because on the show we've spoken about like the many different ways in which European powers from Asia are exploiting, you know what I'm saying, Africa today. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we learning from the past? Is there something that made us super susceptible in the past that we can maybe make sure that we you know what I'm saying, like, remove that from the equation today? Let me read more of what he said in the.
I was going to say, do you have any ideas or anything there?
Well, he said, I remember when we had the Black History Month for the UK, and TDA was very helpful with going through the history and facts for some of the countries in Africa. I noticed that majority of the countries had multiple languages. At the time, it really showed how diverse the continent of Africa was. But looking back, do you think that diversity is what cost us? Do you think the Africans of the past were easy to manipulate because they could not speak to one another? Language is a huge factor of culture, or should I say the main indicator of culture. And if we have so many different languages, then we can say we have so much, or I guess so many different cultures, and it does not allow for cohesion within the continent.
So let's break it down into nation by nation, country by country, as opposed to continent. Because I don't know if he's suggesting that Nigeria should have been talking to Benin or etc. etc. I'm thinking he means the different tribes within the actual country.
I think so, yeah. But I think if you can get those speaking within those countries, then it kind of extends to other countries. And also, remember, prior to...
Explain what you said.
So basically, if you've got that that unity amongst the different tribes within one country,
Yes.
and that works, then I guess it could maybe extend across the border to other countries.
that's-
too.
Yeah, but it can't because as a continent, like you say, Africa, that won't even work in Europe.
Besides, this is something
It's different. Just different countries speaking different languages.
Yeah.
Like that's normal.
You're not seeing Russia looking to be said.
It's-
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Be
Russia
partnered
doesn't
with
ha-
UK in that sense.
But I guess
Oh,
Russia don't have the problem that we have.
Okay, well, London, England should be able to just freely communicate with Luxembourg, and just you know what I'm trying to say. That we speak different languages.
Yeah. But that's what I'm trying to say. Is that the problem, though?
But it wasn't a problem for Europe.
But I guess their enemy didn't think like that. Because Africa didn't have that desire to go and pillage and rape and kill all over the globe. Europeans did. You know what I'm saying? And I guess those divisions, those differences in our language and our cultures was the best way to kind of put cultures against other cultures. If we had a collective understanding, okay, cool, this is our enemy or this is potential enemies that could come, and then maybe at certain times we operate in a particular way. So like how we're all now saying, let's gatekeep. We all come from different homes, different backgrounds, different experiences, but under the banner of black culture, there's an understanding that, okay, wait a minute, all of us contribute to this and we're all part of this. If we can gatekeep to some degree, we can keep out those who can cause a problem for us.
What does this mean?
Black Rob says the country lines in Africa were made by Europeans with the intentional purpose of having different ethnic groups under one flag, so the European can play them against each other.
Explain that, please.
Yeah, he's basically saying that like Nigeria or any country that you see today, it's fake. Essentially, before a particular date, Nigeria didn't exist. So the 300 different ethnic groups that you see today, like they're grouped in a place called Nigeria because a European said, let's draw the lines here.
So you're saying Africa just used to be one people?
No. We're saying that there were many different tribes and they occupied their own space. And I guess that space would change with time, just like any other civilization that moves around.
I'm so confused.
Okay, so it's essentially...
Let me tell you why I'm confused so you can help me.
Yeah.
What that just suggested to me was
Yeah.
that there was just one people and different tribes, yes, different language and whatnot, but the Europeans came in and they decided to confuse all of us by drawing lines in sand, in earth, right?
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense to me because you said that they previously were different tribes anyway.
Yeah.
So they had their phantom lines anyway.
Yes, but I guess how it would be...
Wait, let
Help
me
me.
let me think. So, because they would have had their territories
Yeah.
and stuff anyway, innit? Yeah. But with the Europeans coming in and not caring about the territories, they could have like drew lines that's like split territories in half and stuff like
100%.
that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's not the geography is not the natural geography; it's the European because they created the spaces.
Yeah. Explain how that... Is this true?
I don't know.
no,
I'm not saying it's true. I'm explaining what you're saying.
It's
What is
true.
being suggested
Yeah.
is that overnight,
Yeah.
that there were... you know where there was a big wall?
Yeah.
Was it Gorbachev? What is it? Gorbachev? What is his name?
Gorbachev.
Yeah, Gorbachev.
Well,
Look down
Russia.
the wall. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They were overnight, boom, it's up.
Gorbachev.
And then, what?
Gorbachev.
Gorbachev.
sorry.
Yeah. And then the people who used to be
Yeah.
now family,
Yeah.
split in two,
Yes.
and they couldn't reach the other ones.
Precisely. So if you go
For the
to...
entire territory of Africa?
No.
No,
So in this case of Nigeria, it was everyone had their own places. So Yoruba people had their own place, Igbo people had their own place, blah, 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 blah. When the Europeans came, they decided that we're going to put you all together and we're going to call you Nigeria. That's why when he talks about the Yoruba land and stuff like that, that's why now people want to separate because there was actually a contract and essentially that contract expired now. And in the contract, it said that when we get to a certain date, I can't remember when the date was, if all the tribes and nations, or whatever, no longer want to be together, then they can separate. So that's why the whole Yoruba land thing is a thing at the moment because the Igbos, the Biafrans, they want to separate. They want to go back to their own territory.
Yeah.
We were like in West, they were in South. That's what is happening.
I hear that
Yeah.
for Nigerians and their tribes. But who is next to Nigeria as a people?
Okay, let me explain
What's
to you
the
like
next
this.
country?
Ghana.
So what I'm saying is that
What, as
are
in
they flipping?
proximity?
What?
You're talking about what? Literal
Give
proximity?
me the countries around
Okay,
Nigeria.
Cool. So you got to the right, you got Cameroon.
All right. So are Cameroonians mixing with some of the Yoruba land people?
So yes, so this is what I'm trying to explain to you. So for example, prior to the divisions, right? If you go to Yoruba land, for example, Yoruba land, obviously, as we know, southwest Nigeria, but some of it actually went into what is modern day Benin. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But somebody drew a line, like Marx is saying, and
there's-
split some of us.
So there's some Yoruba in
Yes.
Benin and some Benin in Yoruba land.
No, don't say Benin in Yoruba. It's just some. It's some. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I don't. I need to help.
Okay, I'm
That's what
telling you,
asking
I'm
for
telling you.
help.
The way Brett said is like you went on a trip and then by the time you came back, they put the line there. Now you
No, it's essentially that's what happened because there were divisions. If you go back to 1884, there was. This is when you had the Berlin Conference. You had a bunch of Europeans come together and talk about how we're going to divide up Africa, and each part in Africa, I'm going to take. So, Miles, you're going to take this country, that country, and that country.
I understand
Cool.
that, but there
Yeah.
was still distinct people,
Yes, there was.
distinct nations.
Yes.
Before they decided that they were going to now carve the land up in the manner in which they wanted.
Yes.
So we will still come down to the before the Europeans came in, there was still an acknowledgement that you were you and they were they,
Oh, yes, of
and they
course.
were there over there in
Of
South
course, yeah.
Africa.
Yeah. But the reason why I'm saying it like this because what Black Rob is saying is when they grouped us together, there was a way that they did it in order to kind of facilitate their agenda. I.e., for example, all of us here, how many of us in it? There's 4 of us here,
I mean,
minding our business.
within the actual, not the tribe, the nation.
Yes.
That's a different thing, though.
No, but I'm
That's
explaining
looking to confuse
what
the
Black Rob
people.
is saying.
Huh?
I'm explaining what Black Rob is saying. You remember you said, what does that mean? So basically what I'm trying to say is, because remember he's talking about, well, it seemed like, anyway, it's not on the screen anymore, but about basically how they did it in order to, basically,
Does this pertain to the question that we were trying to discuss, though?
I believe it's the question that you asked,
Which was the question?
which is, what does that mean?
No, but before that,
Yeah.
there is a particular question that is a topic of the day.
Yes.
But did that thing that popped up speak to the actual question?
I guess in some ways, because I guess, yes, this is how I would link it to it. So basically, again, kind of like us in the room, 4 of us here, minding our business. Mark's got the entirety of the sofa. I've got this chair. You got all that section there. Cool. But when somebody comes, a superpower comes along and says, wait, man, I'm going to divide you to serve my agenda. Because even though we've got our own laws, this person can cut the room like this, right? And essentially what happens is, because you've got the bigger space, you automatically become the superpower in that nation. So you have more influence in the parliament of that day. So now your agenda and everything kind of forces me to have to perform a particular, like, function in a particular way. You see what I'm saying? Because essentially you would have now the bigger vote, because now we're going to operate as Europeans do. You have more seats, so to speak. So me and Esther now are subject to what you decide. You see what I'm saying? And so prior to that, I could function as I wanted to. Esther and you, unless obviously we were against each other, you know what I'm saying? But when the Europeans came and drew the lines and said, we're all one country, you have most of the land, more of the say, more seats, and this, that, and the third. Essentially, we're kind of under you. Brent, you've got your own country over here, this, that, and the third. And I think that's basically what Black was speaking about. But also, in addition to that, what tends to happen is, because I don't like the fact that I'm under you now, right? That's going to cause more problems. That's how you solve the division. You see what I'm saying? And that's basically what speaks to what Usher is saying.
The
in
example
question.
that you're giving right now, is that for a continent example or a country example?
Country.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The question was about continent, right?
Yeah.
So before the Europeans came in, was there a giddy, let's all be party?
No,
all the
I
countries?
wouldn't say that.
This is. Thank you. Now I understand.
Okay, cool.
All right.
But the reason why I mentioned the countries things, because obviously that's kind of like on a micro level. But
No, I understand. I
yeah.
understand the country, because within the country you have different tribes and they have different agendas and they want different things and they have
Yeah.
different religions, and I understand that.
Yeah, that's basically it. And I guess one of the biggest problems between certain countries or within certain countries that people speak those different languages. You know what I'm saying? Because it becomes difficult to kind of unify, not necessarily because of different language, but because of what those different languages represent, i.e. that we are different, distinct people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we're gonna get back to the
Yeah, which is back to the question. Yes.
All right.
So basically, guys, is it because of those the diversity in Africa that we're susceptible to it. Yeah, and also let me read what he goes on to say. He says, "I know this is going to sound crazy, but do you think we should have fewer languages per country in Africa? Because as of this moment, for us to communicate with another country in Africa, or even in our own respective countries, we're using language foreign to the continent to communicate with ourselves on the continent, i.e. English, French, Portuguese, maybe Arabic for some parts of the North or Middle Sahara. Number 2, should some cultures and tribes be absorbed into another much larger tribe? Should some cultures combine together to make a larger culture? Would this allow us to be more homogeneous rather than fractured?"
Who's facilitating that? Who's absorbing their tribe?
Obviously, like you said, it sounds crazy, innit? But would that sort of thinking maybe unifying and saying, you know what? Because at the end of the day, obviously, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but with time, certain cultures almost become absorbed into other cultures anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it means something that the languages that you use to communicate are not even the languages of the continent?
What do you mean?
The majority, like you were saying, like what's the majority spoken between? It's between what you said, Arabic, French, English.
Yeah. Probably.
Would that be the majority?
Oh, I think so. I think it would be. Yeah, I think so.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Do you think does that mean anything? That the fact that you're using other people's languages on your continent?
In terms of like, I guess pride, self-pride and our thinking, I think so, yeah. But I think if we all came together and said, you know what, half of us a quarter of us are speaking English, a quarter of us are speaking Arabic, maybe we should just all learn to just pick 1 or 2 or 3 of these and have some sort of lingua franca that can enable us to communicate better. Then at least it's a choice.
But it's the other countries, so it's the other languages that will unify you easier to communicate.
Only because, yeah, currently. I'm just saying if this is the thinking of everybody, only because those countries are present now. You know what I'm saying? And for the last, 200 plus years, we were colonized by these people.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
Oh, what are you thinking? It sounds crazy.
Huh?
It sounds crazy.
Well, no, I was just trying to think, like the language thing's mad. I was just trying to think how feasible it could be, how it would even work, if that makes sense. Or what are the benefits?
I don't know why you're taking it like this. The continent of Europe speak all different languages, right?
Yeah.
So we have extrapolating that and then comparing it to Africa. Why? The superpower is Russia, right?
Yeah.
Superpower is China,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So don't compare apples and oranges like that. Doesn't make any sense.
True. Just confused myself.
Okay, what if you picked one country? So okay, because obviously we're kind of getting stuck on the superpower and making Africa a continent being a superpower. Let's just pick the biggest countries or the most powerful countries in Africa right now: Nigeria, South Africa. Do you feel like it's harder for us to become a superpower because of those differences within those countries? Or do you feel like there's something like is there something that you think we can do? Because obviously it seems like everyone will obviously will be reluctant to give up certain things in their culture, right? But is there certain things that we can all kind of do that can better equip us to take on tomorrow, to have a better tomorrow, given our present circumstance?
First of all, I just remember something I forgot to write down.
But do you know the thing is, I think even though this question is about Africa and stuff, right? To me, I'm kind of seeing it like if we were to bring this to the UK, like to me, it's
Saka's big sister.
Nigeria
is not powerful.
Well, it has the potential, and I guess that's what speaks to the
I'd like
question
to know,
itself.
Do you live in Nigeria actually? Just out of curiosity. Because I always find out the way we talk about Nigeria, not living in Nigeria, and the way Nigerians who live in Nigeria talk about Nigeria is so different.
What would the differences be?
They're cooking. The president, they have more vim than people.
Who not likes the country more? That don't make sense. What am I going to say?
But who praises the country more?
There you go.
I think we do. I think we are aware of what happens there, but we don't feel it the way people feel it on a daily. And so even when we criticize it, we don't criticize the way that they criticize it. But then sometimes as well, it's weird because sometimes as well we would criticize it, but then they're seeing there's something that they wouldn't criticize. So say for example something happens, we can criticize it, but then they would have more hope for that. Like when the president became the president, a lot of people criticized it anyway, but even in Nigeria, there's people who were like, no, let's actually see what he can do. But then people outside of Nigeria were all like, no, do you know what I mean? Like he's not good. So it always depends. Nigerians outside love Nigeria. I don't get it.
He must mean outside of Nigeria.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, okay.
Compared to like what you were saying, compared to
People that, because the people in Nigeria, for the most part, people are trying to leave, and then we go back and do holidays and think it's all nice and pleasant, and then come back. It's always very interesting when I hear the difference in opinions. But yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of, I guess, even if you kind of
Maggie's got one as well.
I think we should maintain our cultures and language, but focus on a shared economic and trade partnership, like a shared currency.
I agree.
Thank you, Maggie.
I agree with that. But I guess for me, yeah.
On the economics point of view, is that more
Yeah,
powerful?
I think so, yeah.
What would need to happen for that to be palatable across Africa, though? Because when you go to different countries, obviously the currency flexes a bit more, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the strength of the economy within the country. So what does that like fixed currency, that joint currency look like across Africa?
The Afro.
No, I don't know what I'm gonna say. What is it called?
Oh.
Because the price of bread would need to be the same across, right?
Literally. Would it?
No.
It wouldn't, because think about it. Some European countries all spend a euro.
It's
But then when you're in Spain, it's different to when you're spending euro in France.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be different.
Different Afros.
Oh, okay. So you're saying it's like different, like superstores here. Tesco, Aldi, It's the same pound, but it's valued differently.
Yeah, well even what you're saying with the euro, your euro will stretch further in
Somewhere else.
Slovenia than it will in Barcelona.
Still, explain that to me, because the kind...
No, but it's about like, so you see like even here, when you go, say, okay, let's say buying a house, for example, it's a certain area is going to cost more, so other areas is not going to be as expensive.
No,
it will be like that with the different countries.
I don't want to waste your breath. I understand.
I already wasted it.
No, I understand what the concept is, but I want to, like a specific example. Let's say you go to, Mags, you've been abroad to countries where your pound, Uber. Where's the cheapest place you've been?
So there's an Afrobeat artist that introduces his songs like that.
Uber.
So funny. He says it one time.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's a legend. Adekunle Gold.
Ah, okay. For example, from here to your house, maybe it's £30. And that same distance in Mexico might be £3. Right?
Yeah.
In Nigeria right now, there are millions and millions, and it translates to, right?
It's down bad. So
if you are next door or a few countries over and you're using the same currency, and you normally... do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah. But I think... I get this. I get it. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm so hungry. But then, chances are, because when it comes to like importing stuff and exporting stuff, they tend to get from the same places. So chances are, if, say for example, petrol is really expensive in Nigeria, chances are it's going to be expensive in Ghana, in Senegal, in all these other places that use the same currency. So it's very likely that the inflation is going to be, that it's not going to be a vast difference.
It depends. Remember, you have to look at the means of production. So, for example, let's just say in Nigeria, we have all the crops necessary to make bread. But in your country, you don't. Like you rightly said, you're going to now have to think about importation. People in my country don't need to think about that at all. That's not going to factor into the costs. You know what I'm saying? So a business that's getting all those costs, all those ingredients or whatever, the wheat, the this, the that, and the third, taking it back home to where you're from and making it, the costs are gonna be transferred to that particular good. You know what I'm saying? But here in this country, that's not necessary. So those are some of the price fluctuations as well. That's gonna basically be present as well. So just because you got the currency doesn't mean it's gonna be the same. No. There's gonna be so many different things, and plus also you just have to look at the marketplace. It's down to what people. I know this might be a controversial idea, but it's down to how people value a particular good. You know what I'm saying? Like what people are prepared to buy it for is basically the cost it will be. You know what I mean? And this is, the tribes, the disparity in land, the people. There's going to be so many different things that go into it. But I think overall that is a good idea. You know what I'm saying? But I think one of the most criminal things is all those African countries that use the CFA franc, which is still linked, or I should say pegged, to the to France. You know what I'm saying? So over there, they're just suffering. You know what I'm saying? Because that currency can never thrive. They can never thrive over there because of it's directly linked to what goes on in Europe with France. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, if we can get rid of that and we can have a real currency that's based on real stuff and make real economic policies and things of that nature, then definitely we'll have a much stable currency and be easy to facilitate trade. And also, of course, remove the need for visas to travel around Africa.
I don't know how much you all know about the different countries in Africa and their currency, but surely the more opulent ones would need to sacrifice their strength.
Yeah, to carry the rest of y'all.
Yeah. Because to make the currency not so vastly different in exchange, you would need to say, all right, cool, I'll be the big papa, but I'll allow my kids to kind of come to the same level or nearing the same level as me. But then that cedes their power. I don't know if that's happening.
No, it wouldn't.
I don't know if that's happening.
But again, we're looking at the costs for us to have this freedom, innit? And this better quality of life.
And this is what harkens back to my original point. There are different people who occupy the continent of Africa, right? They don't say that, me and Nigerians are brothers. Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The same way Russia is not saying me and UK are brothers.
Oh. Yeah.
Do you understand? So,
But in the same way, though, saying that, though, Brent, like in the same way you can say a Nigerian, obviously you're not saying this, but for example, we'll say I'm not a brother to somebody from Niger, for example, right? We group Nigeria as one and Niger as one. But again, prior to a certain time, they were never seen as one. So if
that's an easy example to use. That's why I want you to use a different example. Use an example of one of those countries that you don't even claim should be in Africa.
Like what are we talking about? Oh, okay. What, in the north and that?
Yes.
No, but it's, I guess when you've got a common enemy though, I feel like, because I mean, if you look at Pan-Africanism, right, it includes North Africa. It includes them. Yes, they're different to us ethnically, to Black Africans and stuff like that. Yes, we've had a turbulent relationship at times, but Pan-Africanism, it includes everybody. You know what I'm saying? And for that particular common goal and agenda, it serves our interest to unify. So we've got to put those things aside.
And then after they've managed to do this miracle, I guess they all continue to grow and excel without looking to now say, all right, now we've staved off, we've beat off the colonizers, we've taken that particular heritage legacy of filth and cast it away where it should be. Is it then a case where they're now in harmony?
I don't think it's necessarily that there's always going to be problems amongst people, innit? But I feel like you at least have a better quality of life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, a hungry person is an angry person. You know what I'm saying? And if people at least have that sorted, there'll be a bit more harmony. There'll be less problems to discuss. Less things to you know what I mean?
Honestly, when I talk to you about Africa, when you say that your heart bleeds for Africa, is it really Africa first?
As opposed to?
Yoruba land, Nigeria, and then
Africa, innit?
I think it does.
You're a learned man. You are a well-read man. And a lot of your identity has been hating what has happened to Africa by the white man, right?
Yeah.
But when it really comes down to it, you are Nigeria first.
Yoruba first, yeah.
It's proving my point.
Even this, yeah. So you're more Yoruba than Africa.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't deny that, 100%. But that doesn't stop me from still putting Africa first. And so, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the context.
I think you're saying that because the enemy has done so much to all of these particular countries.
Yeah.
Right? So at any point in time, you can flip and kick the enemy in his throat. Depending on what country in which it is we're talking about, you're doing it because you remember what they did to Yoruba land.
No. I'm doing it. No. I'm doing it because of what they did to everybody in Africa. Like when I consider outside powers, Europeans or whichever type of colonialists, right? I'm not specific about Yoruba land. I'm not, because then I'll only be thinking about British.
I'm not.
Or the Portuguese.
Do not take what I'm saying to reduce the care and love that you have.
Oh no,
Africa,
I know,
right?
I know you're not saying that.
I really don't think that when you see Africa, you see your heart.
No, I do.
The entirety of your heart. Because when I just said Africa, Nigeria, you said Yoruba land.
I'm being specific because I believe to some degree Nigeria, unfortunately, is operating like a failed state. So I relate more to Yoruba land than Nigeria. If you had said Africa opposed to Yoruba, I wouldn't correct you. But because Nigeria itself is just operating and disappointing the people, and every day we're reminded of the uselessness of that union, that's why I'm speaking in that way. So it's basically what I'm basically trying to say.
Very interesting.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that story I was telling you guys about when I met one uncle one time. He was telling me where I'm from, and I said, "Oh, I'm from Nigeria," and he said, "Oh," he started gunning the head out of Nigeria. I thought, "What the hell?" It almost seemed very personal. I was like, "Wait a minute, where the hell are you from then?" You know what I'm saying? I think am I about to fight this guy? And he's like, "I'm from Yoruba land." I said, "Oh, okay, we're speaking the same language." I said, "So am I." You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know that he wanted that. You know what I'm saying? That sort of answer, that he was operating on that sort of level. And then when I told him, no, trust me, we're thinking eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing eye to eye here. Then there was that understanding that, yes, of course, we both are Yoruba first when it comes to Nigeria. But ultimately, we would want Nigeria to work. But in the circumstance or the situation that it is now, where it doesn't seem to be working, then I think it's time people need to start thinking about their self-interest, man. Because Yoruba people are suffering under this, the last government, the last 8 years. They were suffering.
The interesting thing, though, is that this mindset, which I don't think there's anything wrong with it necessarily, because that's how people who are Igbo think as well, the Biafrans, that's how they think as well.
Yeah.
That's how Hausas think as well. But that's why we can't be one.
But do you feel like we can be if we had a government that cared about everyone? You know what I'm saying?
We can be, but the thing is, at the root of this, it's funny because obviously when you're in the West, you fight racism. But back home, we've got tribalism.
Yeah.
And this is the thing.
Yeah.
Racism, like our racism is tribalism. And some people take it very far.
Yes.
So unfortunately, whenever it's like even elections and stuff, if that person is from Europe, is Yoruba people feel like, okay, good, we've got one of our own there. It's going to look out for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Igbo people or Hausa people might feel like, oh, like they're not going to care about us.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't think we can be united in what it is that we want, because we all want different things.
But that's because of the I guess the previous presidents that have kind of showed that bias to their tribes, so the people don't trust it. But let's just say, yes, I'm definitely speaking hypothetical here and fanciful, yeah. But like, let's just say one of the younger people came up and became the president of Nigeria.
Yeah.
I was like, guys, I'm not interested in any of this tribalism nonsense. Keep that in your house.
Yeah.
Right? This is about Nigeria, all 250 million of us. Let's come together, this, that, and the third. And people started to believe. Then I think people will feel happy about the fact that, wait, we are Nigeria. We are the most powerful country on the continent.
But
and we need to fix up.
We see how you said that's such a fantasy.
Yeah.
Going back to the topic of the day about Africa.
Yes.
Yo.
No, but remember, the topic of the day is more so saying, this is the problem, yes, but how can we kind of remedy it? Is the problem...
I don't think it's possible to.
Did you just say that if Nigeria got their ish together, they'd be the most powerful nation in Africa?
Yes.
And you'd be really happy about that, right?
I would be, yeah.
And what would you then move with that type of power?
What do you mean?
What would you then do with that type of power?
You mean me or Nigeria? What do you mean? In what way?
If you were now in control of Nigeria's
Okay.
economic policy,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of the continent,
Yeah.
knowing that they are the most powerful, what would you then do? Remember, you have this particular innate desire to see Africa
Yeah.
as one. So what would you then do?
I think I would look at the economics. So similar to what Maggie was saying, to be fair, I would try and influence those other nations. Lead by example, but try and influence those other nations to come together.
And for
And those-
Nigeria to be the head of the table?
I don't know. We would be the head, I guess, because of our power, influence, and things of that nature, but not to try and be head over people and make them feel some type of way. Not at all. But more so just by leading by example. We have this particular resource. We have maybe this working, this industry is working. Okay, cool. Let's all benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? Let me not treat you like you are from a different continent.
If there hadn't been years of colonization,
Yeah.
would you think the same about Africa?
I don't
When I
think,
say, hey, do you want Africa to be one?
Mm-hmm.
Would you think the same?
I'm not sure if there would be a need to. I don't think I would. No.
And this is why I was telling you before, I don't think your heart bleeds for all of Africa if specifically asked, what do you care about the most?
No, see that's it's kind of like asking me, do I care more about you about people or black people? Do you get what I'm saying? What do you think the answer is?
Euro people.
No, I don't think that's the case. That's not the case. I care about. Remember, it's all about the context. Overall, in a particular context, especially in the West, I'm black first. You see what I'm saying?
Before colonization,
Yeah.
would you have said the same thing? Remember, there wouldn't have been a case of black.
Hey,
Black didn't exist.
this is precisely why I said
That's
to
why.
you.
That's why I just said just now you would choose Yoruba as opposed to black.
Yeah, if those things you just mentioned, if there was no colonization and this, that, and the third, but there is. So we have to operate in today's. You have
So
to understand.
if you-
I'm a Pan-African because of the need to
So
be Pan-African.
If Nigeria becomes most powerful
Yeah.
and then looks to stabilize Africa,
Yes.
and then you look to eradicate black,
Okay.
the concept of black,
Okay.
would it then be a case of, yes, you care more about Yoruba people than...
No, it wouldn't be. Because we're all together in this. Like we all came together. No, because if what happened?
Is this fanciful?
What the idea of it or
wasn't
my thinking of it?
The idea of it. This wasn't the play before colonization. This idea wasn't the play before colonization.
Okay, but what does that mean?
Everybody had their own agendas. Every people
Yes.
had their own agendas.
And they still do to some degree.
Well, of
And
course.
they still need to.
Well, of course, that's what I'm saying. In Europe, you have
Yeah.
Russia as I have my own interests. I only care about my own interests, right?
Yeah.
I'm not looking to basically pally with the UK.
Okay.
Because the UK, in its little small self, wants to basically they rue the fact that it is that they don't have the power that they had before, and they want to still flex as though they did, right? But before all of this, my friend, Africa was the same shebang, the same shebang. Everybody was out for themselves.
Yeah. Because that's just kind of how nations operate, though, isn't it? Everyone's kind of has their own agenda because you have different experiences, different cultures, different ways of doing things.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
mean-
how every family does. It's kind of like somebody coming from, I don't know, some next borough and come and attack your particular street. Overnight, you guys will put your differences together, aside, and your neighbors will all band you up and you guys will be whatever the name of this borough is and start to attack.
You know, this is spiritual, you know, because the amount of resources that Africa has as a continent, I'm not talking about on continent flexes, the amount of resources that Africa has, they are supposed to be the best and biggest and most
100%.
powerful continent running, 100%. So it's a spiritual thing. And
What's the spiritual thing?
how
division.
right now, a nation is more powerful than a continent.
Who said that, though? In what way, though?
China is more powerful than
Oh,
Africa.
okay. I thought you meant-
Russia is more powerful than Africa. America,
yeah.
No, North America is more powerful than Africa. Right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Even UK is more powerful than Africa.
But you've got to look at the people, and obviously we'll end up chatting about this forever. So we'll wrap up soon, right? But you got to look at the agendas of people. There's stories from certain anthropologists and other people that speak about Africans traveling the world navigating the world, circumnavigating the world like centuries prior to Europeans. But we don't go to places and start raping and pillaging people. We're a different type of people. Europeans, however, got boats, got a compass, went around the world and wanted to discover places that people lived on already and wanted to start civilizing people. You know what I'm saying? Start teaching them this, that, and the third. Start taking from them. Start exploiting them, raping, killing, pillaging their land. Every single thing you can think of. Everything that's evil in this world was manifested through them in their interaction with the darker skinned people of the world. It's a different type of thinking. Africans generally are more welcoming. Our first thing is not to attack. You know what I'm saying? And this was our problem. You know what I'm saying? Because the Europeans came over to attack and take from everybody at the same time almost. So it's kind of hard to compare the difference between Africans and Europeans. We have different agendas. You know what I'm saying? And this is the reason why we're in the boat that we're in. But it's okay because won't be how it is forever.
Yeah, every time you say boat, it triggers me, don't say that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be like this forever. Like the tide is turning. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's going to be tough, but I definitely believe that that's the case. And I feel like us, for example, even us in the diaspora, who were doing little things here, there, and all over the place, right? Is the tentacles of Africa working. You know what I'm saying? It's that same spirit that's working all over the globe. And it empowers our people back home, and it definitely does. So, you know what I mean? It's all part of it. But anyway, I guess we can wrap it up there, guys.
Thank you.
Actually, no, let's wrap it up. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Let's get into our next headlines then.
All right, people. So our next headline. Apparently, Germany is scrambling to explain how an audio of Air Force officials apparently discussing giving Ukraine long-range missiles was leaked by Russian sources. Details of alleged British operations on the ground in Ukraine are also mentioned. The breach has sparked major concerns about Germany's security among allies, including the French, and the UK. Germany's defense ministry has confirmed that a conversation of air officials was intercepted, but couldn't say whether the recording had been tampered with. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has repeatedly ruled out sending the Taurus missiles to Ukraine. Nevertheless, in the recording, 4 senior German military officers, including Air Force Ingo Gerhardt and Brigadier General Frank Graf, are seemingly heard discussing the prospect of supplying Ukraine with long-range cruise missiles and saying the weapons could be used to hit the Kerch Bridge, which links Russia to the illegally annexed peninsula of Crimea. Next headline, and France has become the first country in the world to make abortion a constitutional right, with the French government saying the move is in response to a tightening of laws all the way in America. So a bill that was adopted by France's Senate after a vote on Wednesday, the 28th of February, has been approved after a joint session of Parliament on Monday. French President Emmanuel Macron said last week that his government is committed to making women's right to have an abortion irreversible by enshrining it in the Constitution. The French government said in its introduction to the bill that the right to have an abortion is threatened in the US, where the Supreme Court in 2022 overturned a 50-year-old ruling that used to guarantee it. French President Emmanuel Macron has reportedly been hoping the constitutional revision will set him apart from France's far-right National Rally Party, which is surging in the polls ahead of European elections in June. And our last headline, big trigger warning on this one, guys. I'm not too sure if you guys heard about this.
Sorry, that was just for the abortion thingy.
Okay.
Sarah, she shared it in the community yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, big news.
All right. So our last headline, trigger warning, guys. And Miss Everard, who's 33, was abducted, raped, and murdered by 7 Metropolitan Police officer cousins as she walked home in London 2021, as you guys know. Apparently, there's a new documentary that recalls the police learning about this killer. So the Detective Chief Inspector Catherine Goodwin tells of the shock of telling her boss, "You're not going to believe this." She made the comments in the new BBC documentary that will air on Tuesday today. It's been shown days after the 3rd anniversary of Miss Everard's death. It's been 3 years already, you know. The detective recounted how officers had traced a name linked to a car seen in CCTV footage. The footage showed a man standing with Miss Everard next to a vehicle in Clapham where she had been walking. It's the first time Detective Chief Inspector Goodwin had spoken on camera about the case. But viewers in the UK can watch it if you guys are interested. It's called Sarah Everard, The Search for Justice. It's on BBC iPlayer. It's going to be available from today, from this morning, 6 o'clock. But it's also going to be shown, I believe, live on BBC One from 9 p.m. But that's it for the headlines, guys. Time to pay the bills.
Thank you very much. Let's get into Word on Road. Oh dear.
Do you know who they want it to be? I'm asking you.
No, they're obviously they're different reps in the chat, innit? But they resoundingly said it can't be Nigeria.
Okay.
Please imagine. And obviously, man is Nigerian, that's why he's saying it. But maybe he has a rose-tinted view of what Nigeria could be because he is
But it's
kind
just,
of Nigerian.
Say you're tinted.
It's because of the reality of the Nigeria, man. There's only two countries in Africa, respectfully, that.
That's crazy.
That
That statement's crazy.
No,
if I just chop that up, that'll be crazy.
Yeah, if you chop it up,
I
definitely.
would never chop it
I
up.
think you should hashtag Nigerian TikTok.
No, but like when it comes to the economics, man, like those their economies are booming, like South Africa and Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Ghana's economy is booming as well, but those are the two states that can really change everything, man. Kenya's up there as well, but everyone speaks about Nigeria and South Africa being the front
Kenya
runners.
was the one who did the visa stuff first, isn't it?
Or Kenya, yeah.
My money's on them then.
I mean, everyone's doing their bit, man. Not everyone, but you know what I mean. Sorry to disturb you, Esther.
That's all right. Okay. What am I talking about? Okay, so basically, Shannon Sharpe, right? And I don't know if people will learn, man. Sometimes you need to not be making. I don't know. I think people on the internet have amnesia. They make fun of people, and then you never know what people are dealing with, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff anyway. But basically, there was a video of him getting out of the car. I think he was going to do something good. Going to some goodwill stuff. And people are basically clowning how he's walking, and people are like, he's walking gay. I don't know what.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah, they're like, he's a bit fruity and whatnot. People are saying all sorts.
Is in the picture?
Doesn't he have kids?
Yeah, I have, but he's had hip replacements apparently, and had injuries over the years apparently from when he was playing football and stuff. So that's why. And I'm just like, why do you guys keep doing these things? So anyway, big up him, man. To mind their business. In other news as well, someone who was trending, and this is interesting, very interesting turn of events. Obviously, with the whole Diddy stuff and Lil Rod's lawsuit and whatnot, mentioning Diddy, which mentioned Meek Mill, which also talked about Usher and whatnot. Usher's always kind of seen as a victim. I think you asked me last week, like, why is Usher not trending? I said, oh, because people see Usher as an abuse victim and whatnot. But I think people are seeing that, well, it appears people might be seeing Usher. People are saying that if you're hanging around so many predators regularly, what is that saying about you? Kind of thing. So he went to Bali to visit Russell Simmons. As a reminder, just to let you know who Russell Simmons is. Russell Simmons is the man who's currently in hiding for all the accusations and lawsuits against him. Trigger warning. So I'm sorry, trigger warning of all the alleged sexual assault that he's done. And Usher is in Bali taking monk baths with said man.
It was crazy. You know, he actually ran away.
He ran away. and he's been able to come back
since doing yoga.
Since Meet. You know when the Meet even started? He actually ran away.
Crazy. And he got away too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just waiting for something just for him to just. Yeah, he really ran away. All the walls were closing in, and he said, I've got to go somewhere where they can't extradite me. And there he is.
You know, they can't get him.
They can't get him. they cannot get him. For as long as he stays there, they cannot get him.
Oh my gosh.
It's mad. But Usher went to visit him. So Russell Simmons posted saying, morning flow with a bunch of really happy Bali friends. The generosity of spirit exuded by my friend Usher was amazing. FYI, people are always so happy to be in his presence. So when they practice with him, It's an honor and privilege, but the presence and attention he gives to each person is a gift. It's tough to be present with so many of us fans. Each one of us. Do you know how mad it is that Usher has been doing Vegas residencies, yeah? Usher's been doing all these concerts and whatnot. But Russell Simmons like, I can't get to see the show because I'm stuck here. And Usher didn't add Bali to his tour dates. So he's like, oh, do you mind bringing the concert to me? And I said, Usher took it. Anyway, he said his quote when asked about the energy needed to accommodate so many was, God, it's not me giving, I don't really care about all of that stuff. Anyway, he then goes on to say, when I was at the lowest point in my life, I woke up and this man was sitting by my bed. I had known Usher since he was a kid, but we really bonded because of our mutual love for self-discovery and our belief in yogic science as a direct route to realizing God's consciousness in ourselves. People remember this. A friend walks in when others walk out. I will never forget the generosity of spirit I witnessed in this man. God bless you, baby bro. Usher, love you. And people are basically now at a point where they're now cooking Usher because they're like, there's only so much excuses someone can make for you. But you continue to sit in the presence of these predators, these alleged predators. Sorry. And then someone said Usher keeps showing people who he is, but people keep denying it. So that's just that. I'm going to the concert. I'm not a pedophile.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do me. I'm going to the concert. So I spent money on them tickets. I'm going to the concert. Also, remember the whole Kate Middleton stuff?
Mm-hmm.
About her alleged BBL and
Yep.
possibly getting a fringe that's been going out. So everyone's been speculating, right? I read the other day in the headlines as well, you reread the news on the palace. Guess who's all of a sudden been cited?
Kate.
Kate. But it's not Kate. It's not Kate, man. It's not Kate. So basically, TMZ were the ones who posted a picture. But the picture is blurry. When has TMZ cameras ever had like, oh, why didn't I think to send this to Brent, please? Crap. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter quickly. When has TMZ pictures ever had a little distortion situation going on? They took a picture of her allegedly in a car with her mum. Okay, it was broad daylight, but somehow it's not really there. Anyways, people have cleared up the distortion. That don't look like Kate, man. At first, people were basically speculating that it's her sister, Pippa. The one the British media told you, look, she's got a big bum. That was such a dark time. Used to be a country, actually. That was a funny time. Yeah, man. So, I don't know. It just doesn't look... Yeah, it don't look like Kate. And then someone also... You don't know how the internet goes. Someone said Kate has got a mole right on top of her lip on the right side. This woman's mole was clear. So that's people are basically saying that they're trying to get... They basically got like an actress. And that's not Kate. So that's the picture. But there was one where the person, they actually cleared it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't look like Kate, man. But I still think that perhaps, I don't know if I said this on air, I can't remember. I feel like maybe she was pregnant and she had a miscarriage. And that's why she's having to be away. That's why I think people should take it easy because, again, you never know people are actually, what the reality of life is. But yeah, man, I just think it's so funny how all these speculations happening and all of a sudden now Kate is in a car. Did you hear about the guy as well, the other prince that died?
Which one?
Sorry, trigger warning. William's cousin, the one that allegedly died, the son of the prince and princess of Kent, something like that.
I don't remember.
He died last week.
Okay.
They apparently...
Oh, the funeral they went to. Is that the one?
The one that William missed?
Yeah, that one.
Well, they're saying, the streets are saying, again, it's not me. This is a word on road. Ask me for it, I'm giving to you. People are saying they don't think the guy killed himself. And also, William has got bruised. So basically, apparently, William was like one of the last people to see him. They went out the night before, something like that, right? And then the next day, or that same night, the guy dies. Right? Kind of how Diana dies, allegedly. And then people are saying that, and then there's bruises on the back of William's neck.
Wow.
So they're like, what's tea? I think, boy, the Queen died and look at what they've done. Made a mess of everything.
How much wickedness does a person need to do before you don't have any sympathy for them if something calamitous befalls them?
I need to be specific. You talk about Usher,
Royal family.
royal family.
Yeah. Because we just talking about Kate, right? And then
Yeah.
you said that she had a miscarriage.
I'm thinking there. I reckon that's my theory, my personal theory.
100%. But if, let's say, she's been outed as a racist, like a
No, but she was a
full-blown
bitch
racist.
to Meghan. She was horrible to Meghan. She was planting news for Meghan.
That's cranked up to
Yeah.
extreme, flaming racist. It's a weird question for me to ask.
But would I still feel bad for her having a miscarriage?
Yeah.
I would feel bad because you had a miscarriage. That's sad, but yeah, like I can still acknowledge that something bad has happened to her. I would never. Doesn't matter how horrible a person is. I can't say that you deserve whatever happened to you because it's still a horrible thing to go through.
How about, again, a very stupid question I'm asking. How about a slave master's wife where she's running the plantation? He's just a figurehead because he's a man.
Yeah, but a miscarriage is still sad. It's still a sad event to happen to a person. So I'm still gonna think it's sad.
All right, fair enough. How about you?
What?
How about you, Manuel?
My default will always be that I feel sad, like just a loss of. I'm sympathetic to the loss of life, man.
Ah.
You know what I mean? But obviously, if you catch me at the wrong time and I'm thinking about them type of things there, then I see it as an act of God. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Yeah, because two things can be true. You can be a racist, you can be a raging racist, and you can still have something sad happen to you.
How about you? Have you caught on yet?
I know what you're talking about. I was just thinking I don't understand why you're going with this verse.
I'm
he's
asking
Brent.
the question.
And he's got the luxury of not being on camera.
Just posing the question.
Just a thought.
I mean, take it case by case.
But that's precisely. So, what extreme case would have you not having sympathy for the quote-unquote now victim?
It don't have to be an extreme. It just depends on.
All right, talk to me.
Just depends on how I'm feeling that day. But like, you know what I'm trying to say? It don't even have to be extreme. I could just not care.
Actually, maybe mine is extreme because I think if someone, for example, just cussed me and then as they're walking away from me, they trip. I'd be like, oh, did all that and for what? Do you get me? In that situation, I'm like, oh, but if they say they fell and break a finger, I'd be like,
I
oh,
don't
you
like
okay?
when people use karma as a thing, though. I think that's so yucky.
But that's the thing, though.
Like when you're saying the person's so bad and then talking about
Yeah.
this thing and complaining to and talking about what that's their comeuppance. What you're saying, God,
I don't
did
think
that.
it is.
I just think
Do you know what I mean? Wicked
that
people
just
are
seems, that
thriving.
just sounds nasty to me. It's just like
Wicked people live long, you know.
What's the difference between
Live the longest.
That's that little witch of a nurse that was killing all those babies?
Lucy Letby.
100%, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between a Christian saying, "Don't worry, you get the day that you deserve"?
That's different, though. I'm leaving it to God.
But what's the difference?
No, but
because the day that they deserve is not anybody.
Me just retract that because you're gonna.
I'm saying anybody that's talking that if a Christian is saying that their day is not of this world, that what they're talking about. They're not talking about.
Like,
They're not
it's
talking about
above
they're going to
this
walk
day
down
you're
the
gonna
street and get hit by a bus and their head's going to roll down the street. They're talking about hellfire and brimstone and eternal damnation.
no, but the difference.
I think it's both.
Do you think?
You think so?
Nah, I think if you're a righteous person, you're not talking about them getting their thing of this world. You're talking about what God's going to do. It's because you're not going to get granted
Like, I'm not the one
to the other
imposing
side,
that.
to the holy side, and you're going to be burnt forever
No, it's
in
both.
hell.
It's definitely both. It's karma isn't just a case of you're only gonna see that in the afterlife.
No, but what I'm trying to say is you're talking about, because you said the Christians, right? So I'm saying anybody that's walking in that light, yeah, on the
The
righteous
day you
thing.
deserve has a wrapping of karma involved in it. Whether it's exacted by God or not, it still has a wrapping of karma. And it's not just in the afterlife.
In my mindset, someone, that's religious and trying to live righteously and whatnot, and they're talking about that aspect of karma. Even if someone that deserved it, for instance, so there was a man that they thought that deserved karma, and they said God's gonna give this person what there's coming, and then they was walking down the road, and then 20 kids ran on 20 pedal bikes, stabbed this man up to death. They're not gonna be talking about look at God, won't he do it?
But you know what, as well? My thing as well. I think the
depends
reason
on
why it's different, though, as
Huh?
well.
You're thinking they are? They're not.
No, but the reason why it's different as well, though, is because something bad will happen to someone, and people will say that's their karma. Like you put yourself in a place where you're determining that yes, like that is their judgment for that. Is different to if a Christian says you will have the day you deserve. I don't know what that judgment's going to look like. I don't know how that's going to present. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And as a Christian, even if I see something bad happening to you, I am still under obligation to show you love and care. Do you get me? I think it's different to when something bad happens to someone and people, like Wendy Williams, people are like, oh, that's her karma. She's got bad health. Karma doesn't work that way. And I've heard people that study karma and all that kind of stuff. And they say that's the way it's been normalized, people say it, is actually not, it's laws, because then by the rule of the karma that people have defined, they deserve karma for wishing bad on that person. So everyone's just going to be down bad.
I must be a hella broken. I can't shed a tear when some wicked person has some negativity befall him. I can't.
But we didn't say we're shedding tears. I'm not going to mourning for it. I'm acknowledging that something sad has happened to them. Doesn't mean that I'm sitting there.
I hear you. I just
upset.
can't do it.
So if something bad happened to somebody, so because that person's evil, you cannot acknowledge that a tragedy is befalling them.
Yeah,
He must be. There's a saying that people say when people happen.
You're talking about feeling attached to it.
There's sayings.
No, I never said
Feeling
that.
attached to it.
Things happen to people.
I can acknowledge that something is bad.
But that's what I'm
happened,
doing,
but
though.
Acknowledgement isn't.
It doesn't matter.
But that's
Things
what I'm
happen to
doing,
people and
not
people say they
feeling
wouldn't
bad.
wish it on their worst enemy, bro.
What?
There's things that happen. There's
Yeah.
sayings like that. There are things that happen to people and people say there's things that happen, like there's scenarios that people get put in or
They've
things
been
happen
through.
and they say they would not wish that on their worst enemy.
But you know what? Sometimes they don't have an enemy that ferocious. That's why.
Yet.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Because imagine a slave master, like you're saying, Brett.
I can't.
Comes around and he's taking a woman. He's
Yeah, but
he's
we're not going
cutting-
to please. We didn't do a traffic control one. It's
But,
too
but,
much.
but you know what I'm trying to say though.
Yeah.
All those atrocities that happen during, like on a plantation, and something happens to their kid, man, the slaves are going to be rejoicing.
Nah, man.
100%.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
gonna
not
say,
rejoicing.
God
That's
answered.
deep.
Like a baby. The baby ain't got nothing
The
to do
baby
with
got
it.
nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I know, but the baby had nothing to do. My baby had nothing to do with like.
That's
my
fair. Yeah, but that's
circumstance.
fair. But an adult is the one who made the decision to do something to your child. Their child dying or being ill or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that just happened to
I don't
that
care
child.
how much I hate you.
Nah, man.
I don't
That's
care how
deep.
much I hate you. If something happened to your child, why the fuck would I be rejoicing for?
That's deep.
No, 100%. I think all of us here pretty much thinking the same thing. Like, but I think sometimes it's easier for us to say because we're not in the circumstances where we hate somebody.
Brent's still
Brent's
pausing.
calculating.
When we
Brent's
hate
saying,
somebody that much.
No, the distinction between rejoicing and what I said is different. It's starkly different. I said I cannot be moved
Yeah.
to an emotion.
Not necessarily
Rejoicing
celebrating,
is,
yeah.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
But you're also forgetting in the Bible when the angel of death went around the Egyptians killing their firstborns, like nobody was talking about this is a bad thing. God did it as revenge.
Yeah, but that's God. Again, that's God.
Yeah, I know, but still,
God, like God avenging himself or avenging sin or whatever it is very different to me imposing an vengeance. That's
Can't compare
very
yourself to
different.
God. God does some do what I say, not what I do. God is wicked and ruthless when he's ready.
You read the Old Testament?
accept that more.
You cross him, yeah.
Thunder, one thunder, you're down.
Ruthless.
the
knows
reason-
no
I
I was
bounds.
thank God we don't even have thunder days because woo, ciao.
The reason
Strap down.
the reason I mentioned
One
that is
sexual
because
assault, you're out of here.
it's because people believed it. You know what I'm saying? People back then would have believed that the angel of death walked amongst us and killed all the Egyptians' firstborns.
It did that.
Huh?
It did.
That's what I'm saying to you. Today, if something happens to somebody's enemies, right, they're gonna believe God did it too. And so they may be happy in the same way that, you know what, God passed over us and took out my enemy.
I just find stuff like that funny anyway because these are people that don't really know God like that. So how do you know what God is out here doing? I always find that like don't be trying to use God to mask your foolishness because if you could have got God too, if God wasn't so merciful. I don't know, man. It's interesting, but anyway, I don't think that's Kate Middleton in Daft Living Car. I just don't think of it. Yesterday, Celebrity Big Brother started.
Sorry.
Yeah. Brent needs to go out more. Triple A. What do you have to say about that, Brent?
Hold up. There's another one.
Because you got a lot of enemies. Triple A, Brent has a weird way of making
All the
points.
time. All the time.
Aw.
I hope you know I understand that.
I love
I
Brent.
agree. I also agree with this.
Karma is not real.
It depends on what you believe. I
Yeah,
don't believe
that's
in
true.
karma because
You
I'm
do
a
or you
Christian. No, I don't believe in karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the concept of karma is what I'm talking about because you were talking about religion, right? A lot of religious people don't believe in karma. Well, Christians shouldn't believe in karma.
Yeah.
It shouldn't exist, and God is the one who like
Judges and all that
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But the concept of it is, God will handle you. That's flipping concept of karma.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, serious?
No, but I told you that people have what karma really is, from what I've heard, is not how people say it today in society. It's like how people use the word narcissist. That's not its real meaning. That's not what it's really about. Because a lot of people that then speak about people having karma should have karma for wishing such evil on the people. So what is a karma-filled world?
So what are you saying, that some people believe?
I'm saying that it's been misinterpreted what karma is.
All right, so me ask Bard what karma is. Sorry, Gemini. That's the new.
Who's Gemini?
Yeah, the new bard.
Yeah, that's the new.
Why?
They repackaged it. I don't know.
Oh.
It refers to the universal principle of cause and effect,
Yeah.
such as that every action, thought, and intention has consequences.
Yeah.
These consequences can be positive or negative. So what's the? I thought this is what it was.
So for example, let's use Wendy Williams, right?
Yeah.
Wendy Williams was on radio giving information about celebrities, blah, 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 blah. Some people don't agree with how she deals. Some people do, whatever. She's now ill, dealing with dementia and whatnot. People are saying that's her karma. That's a misinterpretation of what karma is, because she's just ill. But let's just even say that is her karma. You also sit online on social media talking about celebrities being mean to people, bullying people, doing all that kind of stuff. So if you're gonna say Wendy Williams is karma, then yours is on its way. But people don't see theirs as it's on its way because they have deemed what that person has done as worse. And if by the thing of karma as well, if you in that state of wishing such evil on that person and blah, 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 then you are due a visit from karma too then, aren't you? Because you're wishing and push and wanting evil or wickedness to happen to a person.
Do you think it's... Obviously, I know you're speaking generally here, but do you feel like a lot of people are wishing it on Wendy Williams, or more so just observing?
Yeah,
People were celebrating.
definitely.
People were celebrating
That's crazy,
that
man.
she's in the situation she was in.
Because I do you know, obviously I'm
I
trying
can't
to
stand
speak for
Wendy
them.
Williams, yeah? Like,
Yeah.
can't stand her. Like, for sometimes for not even no good reason. Like, I can't stand her. I just don't like her. Nothing about her. And seeing her in the state that she's been in now, it's not nice. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, no matter how much I dislike her, like, you could just separate all of that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's totally different issues. Like, it's not nice to see it like that.
People
You know
that can't do that.
Yeah.
And they're unable to do that, and they're saying that it's a karma, but also that they're happy that she's got her comeuppance.
I don't
And
think
it's like
karma's
you
a
finally got
delayed reaction thing. Like, someone could be, if you've been a horrible person your whole life and then you get cancer or stuff like that, and then talk about, that's your karma. And all that. I just don't think
think it works
I
like
think that's
that.
crazy. I don't think it works like that. I think it's actually like, if you're standing here now, being bad mind and bitter and funny now, and then you get up and trip and buck your toe and bust your head instantly. That's the karma. That's the energy, the give and take there and then. That's why he done that. Karma. You get me?
I mean, it's just a belief system. I mean, some people believe it, some people don't. I mean, I hear that you don't believe it. Cool. Just like how some people don't believe that there's a God. Yeah. Just what you decide to subscribe to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you look to
Ultimately.
apportion the action to whatever belief system that you hold there.
There's a picture of Jonathan Majors and Megan Good, yeah? Hold on, let me show you. You know, he'd be dressing like a... someone said he dresses like he sweeps chimneys and sings along. Anyway, they said they're in love as well, but I don't really care. Anyways, what else am I talking about today? Oh yeah, Celebrity Big Brother started yesterday. I actually watched, to be honest, I forgot. Got up from the gym, then I saw it. I saw a tweet about it. I was like, oh yeah. But thankfully I caught Zizi going in. So Zizi's officially in the Celebrity Big Brother house. She looks so lovely, man. She looks so good. Hair, everything laid. But basically, is it Sharon Osbourne and Louis Walsh? He's a weirdo. Like, he gives me, one day you're going to get the day you deserve too. Philip Schofield kind of vibe.
You're Irish,
X Factor guy,
X-Factor guy,
yeah. He's very weird. He's very weird. But basically, they were basically in a hidden room, and other people didn't know that they're in the house kind of thing. And they had to pick people to be in like a ring of fire or something like that. So essentially, those 3 people are now up for that they're at risk of leaving the house, essentially. So there's a guy there. I think there's a guy there that's linked to the royal family and whatnot. People are basically saying the royal family did that because you are not about to tell them where Kate Middleton really is, kind of thing. Then there's some other guy, and then he put in Zizi. Sharon didn't want to pick Zizi. She was like, oh, like, I want to get to know her. Like, I don't know much about her, so I want to get to know her. I'm going to pick this other person. No, so before she picked the people, she had to pick 3 people. Louis goes to her, oh, like, Sharon, just do what you want to do, follow your heart, pick whatever you want to do. Give her a speech. I don't know whether he thought, I don't know what he thought he was doing, but he gave her this whole speech about you make your decision for yourself. She picks the two. As soon as she picks somebody else instead of Zizi, he goes, oh, what about Zizi? Like, why don't you pick her? Because just started giving stupid excuses. That one too, Ode, picked Zizi and put her in there. So now the poor girl's, I don't know what that means for her and whatnot, but Zizi looks really good. I'm excited to see what she's like. Some of you are wicked online. This is what I'm talking about again, about the whole karma, comeuppance, whatever. People are basically saying that she ain't got the black votes. This is black Twitter. Basically saying she ain't got the black votes because of how she's terrorized them over the years. So they're going to go. I even saw somebody, I can't remember, I hope this is not somebody that, well, it could be someone I know personally. It is what it is. But basically someone said, yeah, that they hope, yeah, that, you know the experience that black people typically get on reality TV shows? They want her to have that experience.
Right.
So that, you know, because she ain't got the black votes. Like, essentially, like, whatever you want to do, do that. But I'm not here for that. You guys already know me. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for black people being used as pawns in TV shows. But I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be very interesting. Ekinsu is in there as well. And some other girl. The reggae sauce guy is in there as well.
Levi Roots.
Roots. Yeah, big up him. Right off him.
Okay, you call it reggae sauce.
No, because that's his intro. He let everybody know that. He was singing in all sorts. Singing reggae sauce.
He came in singing that?
He sang it up. So, you know, like before they go into the house, they have a quick conversation with them, like, how are you feeling? What are you nervous about? That kind of stuff. And then he just started singing. There's some other girl that did it. Her voice, she could sing, honey. But this man was singing about the sauce. And then the guy was like, okay, so you're bringing sauce in there. I was like, okay, do you know what?
Reggae sauce.
Next,
He's got the coldest dragons then in history. You ain't seen it?
So he really came in.
He sang.
Yeah.
He got a
Before he went into the
reggae
house.
sauce song. Guy acting like you don't know.
I know
No, but he
Levi
can't
Roots
believe
but
he
this
sang
Acting like
it.
you don't know about the reggae sauce song.
Yeah, the song.
I know the song.
But he can't believe that he sang it before
Like
going into the villa.
like
And
a
he
dancing
did.
black.
Hmm?
Like a dancing black.
Well,
This is why I said what I said.
well.
I know the song.
Yeah.
He came in and started chucking
He was
down.
entertaining, yeah.
Oh.
He was funny. He was talking about, obviously he's got the he goes, I got pre-orders from up and down the country. Rest of the 10 is like, how much pre-orders you got? He's in wait for it. Wait for it. He said 1 trillion liters. They said what? They said what? What do you mean? So you got pre-orders of 1 trillion liters. What you did? And then
Big
he
up
done
him,
it.
man.
And then he done his maths. He said, "Oh no. sorry, 1,000."
He didn't say 1,000.
What?
He did not say 1,000.
What? He dropped from 1 trillion to 1,000.
Or maybe 1 trillion to 1 million then.
Yo.
Like,
You're never gonna beat them charges. Because I'll be honest with you, when you told me, when you said the trillion,
Okay,
don't
wait for the chat. Wait for the chat. Wait for the
don't
chat.
do this today.
Law averages is that there's somebody in this chat.
Don't do this.
There has to be somebody in this
today.
chat that remembers this. I
Because
can't be
when
the only
you
one.
said 1 trillion and then he said wait for it and he said 1,000, I thought of you and your damn 600 wings. That's the first. I thought maybe it's a Caribbean thing.
That's what he
So now
done.
here we are.
That's what he done.
Anyway,
Does anybody remember?
Trillion liters is a lot.
Exactly. That's why they was looking at him like you're a madman.
Pre-order.
That's why they was.
pre-order, you know,
That's why they was looking at him like he's a madman.
we would have had to make his last batch before he went into Celebrity Big Brother house last night.
Crazy.
But he's in there anyway.
Where's my AirPods, man? Honestly.
You get your receipts.
What's this?
I said, watch this.
you remember when Levi Roots was he was caught up in the scandal? Because you know he's still. I'm not too sure if this is still the case today. But at the time, he was still living in his council flat. He didn't want to give up his council flat.
Yeah, but that was like a conversation we had here.
Yeah, exactly.
And he felt like, why would he, as a millionaire, innit? I mean, he did say that his life has changed since then, and he didn't want to give us his council flat.
Yeah, you don't need a council flat.
I
no
said
more, man.
minimal. What's the expenditure? Maximum income, minimum
Exactly.
expenditure. What a joke, man! But yeah, he's in there as well. I might try and keep up with it, but it should be interesting anyway. There was some woman in there. She's a brew housewife. And her child, because obviously you got their families and whatnot there. These families so cute. And then her daughter's like, oh, don't have sex on TV. I said, shut up and go to bed, man. What are you talking about? Embarrassing your mum like that. Threw the mum off. She didn't even know what to say. It was so out of order. I just felt like, why would you embarrass your mum like that? The millennials or what are they called? Also, Megan Thee Stallion, I remember I said this on Friday. Megan Thee Stallion's ex-friend, Kelsey Nicole, who was a third party to the Tory Lanez shooting, had an interview on this podcast. I can't remember what it's called now. Hazen? No, that's the ice cream, isn't it? That's Häagen-Dazs.
I think it starts with D.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. Let me just check my history quickly. How do I check your history on YouTube? I'm such a grandma.
If you go to the main thing, there should be like a watched. Or I should say.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Danza project. She was on there. It was an hour and 47 minutes long. Quite long, so she said a bunch of nothing. She didn't say it. Did you watch it, Brent?
Yeah, I did.
Maybe you picked something up, but she didn't say nothing that, well, in my opinion, was worth anything. The only thing that I thought was interesting she said was that she and Tory Lanez were not together at the time. Remember people were saying how Megan stole her. She said that her and Megan falling out was not because of Tory. She said the only thing that she wished that she had found out that Megan was with Tory from Megan rather than from Tory, because she's got this mindset of like, it should be us girls against the guys kind of thing. So that was the only thing. She said she's not sure why. Is that so funny to me? I hate people that are delusional. I hate when people do stuff to you and then act confused as to why you don't longer speak to them. She doesn't know what she can't put her finger. She can't tell you exactly why she and Megan don't talk anymore. This time she had a whole diss track telling Megan that if she had the gun, she would have shot in the head. And you don't know why we don't talk. Fantastic. She also said that she hasn't seen Megan since the shooting and whatnot. Okay. Honestly, and then when they asked her, basically tried to ask what was your situation with Tory and whatnot, she's like, out of respect for her man who was also in the room, she's not really gonna say anything. Also, she's had a kid in the time, so I think she said somebody she was going through like the pregnancy during that whole thing. Very stupid interview. Sorry, Brent.
She said that she discovered Megan.
Yes, that was interesting. She said she discovered Megan. What was it again? She was just rapping and something like that.
Yeah, they were at the same university, and Meg came and she started rapping, and then she's like, "Oh my goodness, you're great. You should actually put this stuff out." And then she said, "I will make the YouTube. I'll record you, and then I'll put it out." And then Meg said, "All right, cool. Let's shoot to this beat." And then took off.
It's interesting when the guys were like, "Oh, does she say that story?" And then she was like, "No, but it's all right." I was like, "Is it? Here you are telling the story." Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I felt like it was a very, very pointless interview. And then she was like, "Oh, one day I'm gonna want to talk about, I can go into more details." And I thought the whole point of you having a first interview after all of this stuff was not for you to come here and tell us and retweets to us. It's for you to give it all. If you're not gonna give it all, then you should have just waited till you're really ready to give it all. Then give it. I don't want to hear from you again. It was interesting. Well, no, it wasn't. That's a damn lie. It wasn't interesting. It was just. I don't know. I didn't get much from the interview. I didn't think it was an interesting interview. I was multitasking. Nothing really grabbed my attention. Made me think, oh, let me rewind that. What did she just say there?
I guess what I got was when she asked them at the end, right at the end.
Oh yeah.
What did you think happened?
Yeah.
And then
one of them was kind of skirting around it.
One of the guy,
Unc.
He was like, I tell the truth, blah blah blah. I actually thought that Tory was innocent. So that just told me that whatever they had talked about before or after or whatever, it was relayed that Tory was his where he's supposed to be. And that like it could have started at the beginning. But
that's what's interesting, because even when with Kelsey, at the time she used to tweet and whatever, was that her whole thing was she wanted Megan to just tell people that it wasn't her. But then if Megan's saying it's Tory, she's clearly saying it wasn't you. And Megan's thing was that you're making people think I'm a liar and I'm trying to protect you. Say that. But it's so interesting because she can say this now. Because that's another thing people were criticizing her for. Like, you can say all of this stuff now, but then when it was trial time, and this is why, again, you and Megan fell out, but you're acting like you don't know why you fell out. You actually wanted to get a case for immunity. And then when that didn't push through, you were pleading the fifth the whole time. So if you now want people to know that it wasn't you, why didn't you just make that clear at the time? And of course, there's that whole thing about her collecting money as well, which I think, had she actually not collected money, even though she didn't want to go into detail, she would have been like, yeah, I'm going to clear that up. I did not collect money. I feel like that's such a big thing to clear up, even if you don't want to go into detail. But when they mentioned that, she was happy to just let that wash away. But in all honesty, I think it was a very pointless interview. I don't think she should have done it. I think it's been like 4 years now, actually, which is very mad. It's been 4 years since the whole thing. I just think it's silly. I also think as well that she never told Meghan about Tory, and Meghan never told her about Tory. And so when she found out, she found out that way. Do you get what I mean? I feel like they were both keeping the secret of Tory to themselves. Like they didn't make it be known that they were linking, because she kept saying how he was a friend of ours. And so if you're a friendship of 3 and 2 of you are linking, you're gonna keep it quiet because of what it really was. And her saying she was in a relationship, I'm sure she said something about she was in a relationship at the time as well. I don't know, man. I don't know, but it was silly, in my opinion. But that's it. Thank God. That was it. Let's get into People's Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I wanted to mention is Apple, man, they're getting fined. They are getting fined by the EU. Guess how much they're getting fined?
Probably like 23.6 million.
1.8 billion.
That's wild.
1.8 billion euros. Why? Because they were favouring their own music streaming service rather than rivals, apparently.
Yeah, but that time they forced everyone to have a U2 album on their phone. Didn't know who they are.
But yeah, apparently they've been doing this for more than a decade, man. The EU executive from the European Commission pretty much said that Apple didn't fully inform their device users that there were alternative and cheaper subscription services, and they did this for more than a decade. And as a result, iPhone and iPad users paid significantly higher prices for music streaming subscriptions. And because of that, this is why they're in the mess that they're in, man. They're saying Apple abused its dominant position as the provider of music streaming services in its app store. And basically, yeah, this is the reason why. So I guess they've calculated like what they think they should be paying. And this is the reason why, man. The fine has been issued due to a complaint by streaming service Spotify. You know what I'm saying? So this is because of Spotify when they launched a 5-year EU investigation which focused on how Apple prevented app developers from telling users of cheaper ways to pay for subscriptions without going through the app. And this is basically what led to it. So yeah, during their investigations, by the way, they found that Apple stopped streaming services like Spotify from letting users know the cost of non-Apple subscription offers. And yeah, it was all part of their elaborate plan. And yeah, man, I guess they breached the rules, man, and now they're going to be paying 1.something billion. China, just wanted to mention, they've set a growth target of around 5% for 2024. They're trying to boost their economy. They're pretty much saying that, you know what, they're going to put certain things. They're going to prioritize security and the economy. So those are the two things that they're looking to prioritize this year. So they're going to be putting more money into the economy in terms of boosting consumer spending and things of that nature to hopefully make the economy grow. But they're also going to put a lot more money into security as well. There isn't much more to speak about, to be fair. But in terms of the spending on their security, they're looking to boost the spending by 7.2%, which is the same rate as last year. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I wanted to mention, this takes us to Africa now. Nigeria. So Nigerian authorities are pretty much heightened security, man, at government food stores because there's a crisis back home. Did you know that people are basically stealing from food stores now, basically?
I'm surprised they didn't do that earlier. It's really
shame,
bad, you
man.
know. They were even, I said what I said the other day, and they were saying how, like, in the market now, yeah, you know how, like, you would go and buy yam?
Mm-hmm.
They're now selling it as slices.
Oh, serious?
That's how bad it is because people cannot afford a full yam or half a yam. They're actually selling it now as slices. So, yeah, they should have been stealing. Sad,
man. Yeah, but like you rightly said, people are struggling to afford food, man. So really, there has been an increased there's been an increase in cases of attacks on warehouses to steal basically all these food items. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, they were basically saying we're increasing security to forestall any breaches at its offices and warehouses nationwide. Like I said, this is because local residents have been looting food items such as bags of maize, and they're doing a lot of that in Abuja as well. But looters also vandalized the warehouse. So yeah, a lot of these things are happening, man. And yeah, they're just trying to find ways to mitigate all of that. Also, the US, they've hit the president of Zimbabwe with some sanctions, man. So President Mnangagwa, he has been some sanctions have been imposed on him for corruption and human rights abuses. The same sanction also affects other senior leaders in the country as well, and basically it blocks all of their assets in the US, and it bars them from actually traveling there. The new sanctions replace a broader program that was introduced 2 decades ago. So the White House said in a statement, "We continue to witness gross abuse of political, economic, and human rights. The targeting of civil society and severe restrictions on political activity have stifled fundamental freedoms, while key actors, including government leaders, have siphoned off public resources for personal gains." I don't trust the Americans at all in this particular thing, but from what they're saying, this is what some sort of body in Africa should be doing, to be fair, to prevent these people from in specific countries from abusing their citizens, man. They go on to say in the statement that these illicit activities support and contribute to a global criminal network of bribery, smuggling, and money laundering that impoverish communities in Zimbabwe, Southern Africa, and other parts of the world. So yeah, the White House said it was refocusing and elevating its efforts to hold accountable the individuals and entities that are responsible for this exploitation. So like I said, they have sanctioned now the president of Zimbabwe, as well as some of the other top officials. And the last thing I wanted to mention, did you hear about the lady called Faletu Abdul Razak? She's a Ghanaian chef who tried to break the world record.
Yeah, man. She didn't do it.
Yeah, man. They said no. That she failed. And
it's tricky. It's hard though.
Yeah, it is.
Because even Hilda said, like, especially when it comes to the break times, because that's why Hilda did so many, like, she did over 100, and I think she only ended up like 80 something.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think she only beat the other lady by like 3 hours or something like that.
Wow.
Because they calculated the breaks wrong. I think you get a certain amount of time with this, but then there's ways that you can earn more. Like, it's so tricky.
Yeah. Basically, that's what happened, man. She cooked. It looked like she had broken the record anyway, because she had cooked non-stop for more than 227 hours. You know what I'm saying? So the coordinator...
And none of that.
Yeah.
I'd be livid. I'd be livid.
Yep. The coordinator of her challenge on Sunday said that her attempt at breaking the record unfortunately fell short of meeting the stringent guidelines set forth by the Guinness World Records, man. And yeah...
I'd be livid.
Yeah, it's pretty much like you said. They cited a violation of the rest break rules,
man,
which resulted in an unsuccessful attempt. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened, man.
She had a nice statement. Like, I saw her statement. I thought, you're better than me. I would have said, I'm not talking to anybody. I would be fuming. I would lost less, and I've been so angry, and I couldn't let go. Over 200 hours.
Yeah, 227 hours, man.
I'm not attempting that again. But then again, the spirit that leads you to want to break a record like that, you would do it again.
This is true.
But it is tricky because even like in terms of like the dishes, also one of the things that the food can't be wasted.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So that's why with Hilda's one, they basically turn it like a little party thing and people come in. None of the food can be wasted because obviously that's not good morals and blah, 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 whatever. So even that is part of it. Like, it's very, very detailed what you have to do and whatnot. Over 200 hours.
Yeah.
It was like a young 120.
Nope, 227 hours. But like you said, man, she took it gracefully, man. She thanked all the supporters and said that their backing
You're so numbered.
had been instrumental throughout her journey. So yeah, big up, man. But yeah,
no, Brad's got something to say.
Go on, Brad.
Dying for it.
A couple things. Did you find it?
Oh no, I told you I never had my headphones. I wasn't looking for it.
Okay.
How was I gonna play it?
How are you going to play music from your phone?
It's not music.
Audio?
Okay.
You've had a full conversation in your phone before, whilst on air. You just moved the mic. I want you to be right. Secondly,
I want you to be right.
With this thingamajiggy, right? Are there criteria that she has to abide by?
Yeah, so like the rest breaks and stuff.
Rest breaks is also nothing can be
wasted. Also, you have to make different dishes as well. Can't you be cooking rice for 200 hours? You got to make different dishes as well.
Does it need to taste good?
That's another thing. That's another thing. So Hilda talked about that. I can't remember, was she on 90s Baby? I think it was 90s Baby when she talked about it. But she was basically saying how, for her, she cares about quality. So all the food is going to taste good. And that was one of the compliments she received, that her quality never went down. Obviously, because there's chefs that call themselves chefs and can't cook. So I guess it's subjective.
Surely it can't
tastes
be
good.
subjective. It
will
needs
be.
to be to a certain standard.
It has to be
surely.
edible, obviously. It can't be like, you can't be giving people food poisoning on the first dish you made.
And it doesn't matter what you cook.
Yeah, I believe it doesn't matter what you cook.
So
'cause
you could be doing like beans and toast and stuff.
Yeah, that's what, do you remember that other little girl? Chef Demi.
Why do the whole let me make this nice cuisine, this, that, and
No, but that's the
Why
thing,
not just ban-
because it promotes your restaurant. Because Hilda, I'm hearing that there's works of her building a restaurant here.
Oh, nice.
I thought she was just trying to break the record.
She's trying to break the record, but obviously you would use it to your advantage. If I'm going to do something like that, do you know what I mean?
I hear Hilda. 'Cause
So if you're smart, you got good management, whatever, you would use it exactly. Because the way with her, I remember during so she had this thing where she teaches people how to cook, like a little sign up thing. I know that's crazy. She had this sign up thing and whatnot, yeah. And it was fully booked, and there's people from all over the world that could do it. It's like basically cooking courses and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I remember the chef Dami, the one I wanted to do it straight after. This girl was cooking silly things like they're making pap, they're making oats. Girl, find somewhere to sit down, sit down. I have several seats. So yeah, but it's very strict. There's a lot of things you've got to cover, and I think you got to record it as well, so they can because they review the footage, and in them reviewing the footage is how you then get all these times subtracted and all that kind of stuff.
All right, thanks. Nearly there.
Yeah, I heard him say he's got a letter to prove that he's got 2.5 million litres, an order for 2.5 million litres, but it's not 2.5 million litres. So I'm waiting for the review 1 second.
Wait for the chili.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But yeah, that's it for the People's Journal.
All right, let's get into asking for a friend. I love dilemmas, you know. Not that I like how people having problems, but I just like people sharing and stuff. All right, asking for a friend. Have you found it? No? Okay. Put on the mic. Put on the mic.
Oh, yeah, so it's not 2.5 million litres though. See, he did say it.
What
Told
is it?
you.
What did he say? What is it? What's the reality then?
It's like it's like 2,000.
A meat company in Yorkshire for, wait for it, 2.5 million litres of reggae sauce as their first orders. We've had just like
See, I told you.
Let me keep saying.
No, forget it. You gotta find it.
Wow. Wow.
It wasn't. What I said is true. He's told them he's got an order for 2.5 million litres, and that was not the case. He was mistaken. It's not 2.5 million. I'd have to go to the other bit where they revealed it to find out how much it was, but I can't. It's long.
So you've heard enough.
I've heard enough, yeah. I've heard enough.
Trilligate. Sorry, Esther.
It's okay. What am I doing? Asking for a friend. So, okay. Good morning, team. Good morning, team. I'm so shocked and distraught. I really don't know what to do. My husband of 7 years has just come home and told me that he has converted to Islam. I am a devout Christian. In fact, we both were. We met in church even. We have 2 children, and I really don't know what to do. There are so many thoughts running through my mind, and none of them are good. Please let me know your thoughts.
Should ask E-Man's wife how she feels.
Wow.
You know what the thing is, yeah?
You are just something. You are something.
Be your own friends.
It be your own cast, man. your own colleagues.
Didn't even skip a
Damn.
beat.
Didn't he came out so quick?
She's like, baby, I'm going to Chicago. Say what?
I'm packing my bag.
Pack my bag. Going to Chicago, baby. What's in Chicago? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Big up the nation every time.
Oh gosh,
Every
you
time.
don't mean them charges. But yeah, go on, sorry.
Nah, no, you don't want to answer the question.
Yeah, you answer the question. Give us some advice.
So for me, that would be. It depends how devout he's become in this. Is he thinking about it? But if he's converted, he's really knee deep in it, isn't it? Personally, I wouldn't be with that. That's grounds for divorce for me, and the Bible does permit that, because
It does.
we're not aligned. It does,
Is it?
yeah. Because essentially, he's lost faith, and there's a chance that there's a chance he could drag her down with him. Next thing you know, now she's lost faith, and it's a whole thing. And if she's a devout Christian, they met in church and all that kind of stuff, and she has no interest in Islam, they're not aligned anymore in their belief, and that will bring chaos to the household. So, for me personally, I think you got to think about your options, have conversations with him. How committed is he to this? Is this just has he formally converted? In I don't know what practices you do for conversion. But has he done? Oh, right. Has he done all of that stuff?
That's what it is. You take your shahada.
But if he has, then that's different now. He's fully committed in that. But if he hasn't and he's exploring, then I think then there's still a way around it. But
You'd break up with a man for
I'm
loving
leaving.
God, yeah?
100%. It's a different God. He's loving a different God to me. Can't be equally yoked. Who are we praying to?
Do you know what it is? I'm a devout Christian. In fact, we both were. We met in church, and then he just came home one day and he said he's converted to Islam.
It'd be like that because people don't know. How many people tell people what is really going on in their head? He might have been having situations where he's doubting stuff to do with Christianity and whatnot, but he didn't want to share it, and he would have been exploring in his own personal time. So it can come out of left field.
Okay, it's possible, I guess. But I don't know. Part of me feels like at least he would have spoken to her. You know what I mean? And maybe just ask questions like, wait a minute, this whole thing about Christ being God, you know what I mean? Or this whole thing about the Bible here. And you know what I mean? Those questions would have come out. So maybe you would have seen the sign that you may not have seen him taking that bigger step, but you know what I mean? Something would have been there, I guess. Because at least you just come home one day and then just changed.
Yeah, but then what would that change? So even if he was having conversations with her, she would still be in the same predicament. Because she's still who she is. She's still a Christian.
Yeah, I guess so.
And he's not that much of a Christian. So either way, they were always going to end up here.
I think, like most things in life, I think the discussion is key, man. Have a conversation. See why he believes Islam is now the route for him. You know what I'm saying? What about Christianity made him feel like, you know what, this is not doing enough for me? Especially since you guys met in church. You guys have been devout Christians for X amount of years. Figure out why he's made that change. Because sometimes it could be just a lack of understanding,
Yeah.
Sometimes you move over to the other side because you feel like, or to a different side, because you feel like, wait a minute, this is not fulfilling me.
And said Freudian slip.
Huh? You know what I'm saying? Like you may feel like, oh, maybe Christianity or this belief system that I subscribe to doesn't fulfill me in this particular area. But then she could maybe be able to say, wait a minute, but you're wrong about this, have you seen it from this perspective? This is the case and this, that, and the third, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And also it depends on what you kind of prioritize. I'm assuming obviously you prioritize your faith above every single other element of life. So this is why you obviously feel this particular way. But of course, you don't know, man. You guys could be I don't know, man. A force of nature, man. If you come to see your commonalities rather than the differences, because obviously you guys have been married for 7 years. I mean, I just said obviously that's grounds for divorce. I've never seen that scripture or whatever, but
That's right. You read a lot of books.
you know what I'm saying. So I don't know if that's the case, but I don't know. I feel like you can work on it, man. You can have those discussions with your pastor, have your discussions with the imam or whatever it may be, and see if you guys can find some common ground somewhere. Because there could be things he teaches you, and there could be things that you definitely teach him as well.
Question. Make it personal to you. If your wife came home and she's not Muslim, what changes?
I mean, it depends, man. It depends on. I mean, obviously the practices, certain things will change. Like you'll be going to mosque, someone will be going to church, you'll be doing this, you'll be doing that, whatever it may be. But I guess, like, this is why I said it depends on what you care about. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many families. You just go to Nigeria. So many of our families have an uncle who is Muslim and the auntie who is Christian. Like that's commonplace back home.
For you, nothing would change.
Why does it have to change? But
would you go to
going to
mosque?
break up your family. Huh?
Would you go mosque?
Yeah, well, I'll go mosque. Yeah, I go mosque now. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Wow.
it depends. It depends.
Really?
What?
Are you shocked by that?
I didn't know that.
I go to the meetings. Of course.
Wait, you've seen him go mosque?
I haven't seen him go mosque, but I know that he's got a tendency to
Or you
go
just
into
assume
mosque.
that he's gone to the mosque?
No, I'm not. This got nothing to do with his mosque attendance. This is to do with the fact that this dilemma is not a dilemma for this man.
Yeah,
I'm going to see him after this show.
No, you can call him right now.
I didn't have a clue that he went mosque. And do you go church?
Yeah, why not?
No, but
Wait.
This is not about. Don't make this
When's the
personal to me. It's nothing
when's the last
to
time
do
you
with
went to
me.
church?
On Sunday.
which
Serious?
Sunday? No, which Sunday?
That's not important.
Sunday 5 years ago.
That's not
Mind
important.
blowing.
Are you really
Why-
shocked by
why
this?
is shocked? Don't make this. This is
Oh,
not
I hope
about.
Stephen's
this is-
watching.
this is
Stephen
not
didn't make
about
I
thoughts.
knew
me.
he went Chicago, but I didn't know he went mosque.
This is nothing to do with me. Forget me.
No,
I
the
literally could just be
person
saying
who said,
things
I
here.
wanted to know your thoughts. This is what part of the thoughts. I'm so shocked that you're shocked by this.
This
You
is-
see I didn't even flinch.
No, because you just assumed that.
No, it's not about assuming. I didn't assume that he went
Why
to a
do you
mosque,
think-
but
Why do you think I shouldn't be confused right now?
no, not that. I don't think
You know
you
how
should.
long I've known this boy?
No, but I don't think you shouldn't be. That's what's shocking. That's what's shocking me. That you've known him for as long as you've known him.
I didn't
But
know
you're
he was a
shocked by
regular
this.
attendee in the
This-
mosque.
this-
I did
this-
not.
Really?
I didn't. Because if he
So
said,
when he talks, do you listen to when he speaks though?
when has he ever said that he attends mosque?
No, but that's the thing though. I'm not speaking to his mosque attendance. I've been knowing that he's got mosque in him. he's got the tendency to go to a mosque. He's talked about he's tuned into the show what's not shows? Sermons and preaching and whatnot. He's talked about this before.
No, but that's he's talked about the black aspect of going being Muslim, which is the was it honorable who?
The nation.
Yes,
know,
and he's always saying it's different to the
Orthodox.
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing it as it's a black power thing.
Is that the only Islamic service you've watched?
Yeah, I go to the nation. Yeah. Yeah. No, not in life though. I've been to mosque before. I mean, I'm Nigerian.
I don't
You know
mean
what I'm
I
saying?
ain't never been into a mosque. My granddad was Muslim and I lived and he raised me. So
Yeah, I mean, you may know, but like,
I've been to Eid food, but
you know what I'm
about
saying.
it.
You know what I'm saying. But like,
No, Brent,
you have to see things
Brent
differently.
is shocked.
You have to see things like your perspective is different to how it is back home for us. Like half the population of Yoruba people is Muslim.
I really want to
Half
know
of us
what
are Christians.
I really want to know what Stephen thinks.
But when I said I was going to call Stephen afterwards, you like,
And I said, call him now.
oh
I call him now. Let's do
yeah,
this now.
this is crazy. It's only because I'm only now finding out he attends.
No,
mosque
we can
and
tell.
church.
We can
You understand?
tell.
2 masters in that.
But
No,
you
when I've
you
said,
lot
I've
should
said
know
this to him though. That he's a bit of everything.
this
But I
again.
thought it was just for content.
No.
This is what I'm about to say to you.
I
How do
told
you know
you it
what I'm
was
saying?
coming
It's not
from his
for content?
heart. Sorry?
How do you know what I'm saying right now is not for content?
It's not.
How do you know?
I will bet my next 5 years salary.
Don't do that.
I'll bet my CMP shares.
Don't do it.
Put it in his name. I know for a fact. I know for a fact. I am that confident.
Oh my
Don't do
goodness.
it.
I'm that confident, bro.
Listen, I think you guys need to understand.
Now, Brent,
You guys,
Brent
you
is
guys,
spun.
you guys,
I know.
Man
you,
is spun.
I can see it.
you guys need to understand that when it comes to certain things, yeah, when it comes to religious, like you have to understand. I've been in discussions with black people from different belief systems, different organizations for decades now, right? I've got to the point where your religious beliefs, it means nothing to me, because the overall agenda to me needs to be the furthering of black people. So I can say these things and it means nothing. You guys obviously don't see the world how I see it, see black people how I see it. So again, I could be making this up. I literally could be. Or maybe it's true. But all of that means nothing to me. And this is why I said don't make it personal to me, because I operate differently and I see the world differently. To me, number one, especially in this particular context, is us being black. We don't have to do anything. I'm just saying, me personally, I put my blackness first. That's key for me.
Christy said at this point, E-Man is not Christian anymore.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Have you?
If I'm telling the truth, yeah, of course.
No, you're lying about.
But maybe not.
No, you're lying about lying. But
it's possible.
What's it called? Someone said, "Do you fast for Ramadan?"
Well, it hasn't started yet.
Next week.
Did you fast last year?
No, I didn't. Not last year.
I was like, you ate Mel's cakes. What are you talking about? Are you gonna fast this year?
Yeah, why not? We should all do it, man.
We is French.
I've fasted for Ramadan before.
There you go.
Yeah. That's lovely.
There's too many divisions amongst us, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I like
telling
it.
you.
I like division like that. I like a bit of division in my life.
Nah, man. like when
That's a bit of me, love.
When you've had those rounds, man, and you've had these conversations with people, and you see that, like, at the end of the day, we've just allowed certain things to just like divide us like crazy.
You see
At some
religious
point in
people
time, we
like,
don't care,
that are
man.
like, if you go like into a room and you had like a imam and a priest and a bitch, I don't know, just all different types,
them
and
jokes.
then a shaman and all these kind of things, all these different religious people, but at the top of their thing, do you think they feel like they're equally yoked?
No, none of them individually think they're equally yoked.
What do you mean individually?
Each of those religious leaders do not think they're equally yoked.
Okay.
What do you mean? Like, if they're what? Together, you mean?
If they was in a room together, I'm saying, like, would they see each other as pairs?
I think so.
Like-
Some of them would.
Explain who?
Yeah, in what way though?
Explain who?
Like, because as holy men, there's that connection to God. As
I think so. I think it depends who you're talking to.
Explain. Tell me. Explain what you're saying.
Okay, I think it depends on what you're speaking to. So again, like, if you're somebody who, let's just say Christian, for example, a Christian may say to you, oh, you know what, I don't believe that any other belief system works. But then you may go to, let's just say, a Muslim who may say, you know what, I believe Judaism.
The thing he just asked, it just focus
Yeah, isn't
on
that what he's talking about?
No.
What's the question?
He said, Imam. You said a priest, like I'm guessing the Catholic, whatever.
yeah,
You're talking about a Buddhist.
Yeah.
You're talking about what's some Jewish
Rabbi.
rabbi.
Yeah.
He's saying,
Yeah.
do all of them look at each other and say they're all equal?
Equal in what way though? Elaborate.
As people, as men of God, like, because I'm saying, like, if I'm a priest, I'm a top priest, and then I sit here and then the mom comes there, she's Islam, I'm Christianity. But I'm saying, do they think, because obviously one's right, one's wrong as far as I'm
Each
concerned,
of them believe they're serving the right God,
innit?
and the rest of them are not.
Exactly. So then, do you look at this man and say and revere him as a man of God?
No,
and
no.
do you get what I'm kind of asking?
Yeah, but that's not correct, man. Like,
Did you say Brent?
yeah.
He was talking.
Yeah, no, but you said something. You said,
So
oh,
why
but
am I here?
you said each of them feel like they're serving the right God.
100%.
No, that's why I said that's not correct.
Explain.
Because again, if you speak to an imam, for example, they don't necessarily believe that they're serving a different God to a Jew or a Christian. They don't.
What?
An imam.
Wait,
Yeah?
you're saying that all Muslim imams
Yeah.
believe that Christians worship the same God?
As them, yes. You can't see things from where you're standing alone, you know. You need to go on the other side and see it. A Muslim will tell
Muslim
you.
imams believe that all Jews are serving the same God.
All right. Obviously,
What the hell are you talking about?
well, I'm going to educate you on the religion. I'm going to tell you.
Go.
You know, in religion, I'm flooded.
Go.
All right, cool. Like I said to you, the difference is because in Islam, they believe that the scriptures have been corrupted. So you're doing something, not in, I'm speaking obviously kind of flippantly here, but not in the most accurate of ways. You're seeing certain things in the doctrine wrong. But in terms of the creator, it's believed it's the same creator. The same creator that gave you the Torah is the same creator that gave you the Injil, the gospel, the same creator that gave you the Quran.
It's my understanding that Muslims believe that Christians have a trifecta,
Yeah,
a trinity,
yeah,
and they don't see that as accurate.
yes.
So explain to me how they
Because they
believe
see-
that Christians
I'm
worship
telling you
the
now.
same God.
So they see it as the same God, but they believe that you're not seeing it correctly. You see what I'm saying?
That's why they're saying Jesus can't be his son, innit?
This is yes.
Don't jump in and move as though what he is saying is legit.
I was just trying to explain to you what he was saying to you.
I understand what they believe because that's why I'm asking the question. What are you actually saying? in my head, no imam is believing that Christians are going to go to heaven. None.
You don't know Islam.
But talk to me.
I'm trying to tell you, but you don't take what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. It's like you rightly said about the trifecta thing, right? I guess the understanding would be more so that this is why one of the most important things in Islam is that Allah has no associates, that He is one and the one alone. That's the most important thing in Islam. And so that is almost like in response to how they believe the Christian view is, which is corrupted. You see what I'm saying? This is what the view is. But they still believe that Allah is the same Allah in Islam is the same Allah in Christianity. And the same Allah that gave the Torah to the Jews. The same.
It's all the Abrahamic religions.
Yes,
isn't it? So
exactly. This is why the same characters are in all of those.
it's the same God, but they're practicing it differently, innit? That's what the difference is, isn't it? If that makes sense, what you're saying. In there, it's the same God, but different people are practicing it differently. That's why everyone thinks that their one's right and their one's wrong, innit? It's not a different person. So this God that they're talking about is saying Christianity. We're saying Jesus is the Son of God. It's the same God that Islam's pray to. That's why they're saying He can't be His son because God has no son.
Yeah.
They're not saying it's a different God and it's a different thing. They're saying this your idea of the God in the religion. You've got it wrong. It's this.
Exactly.
What are you saying exactly for? This is what I am. I understand this.
Okay.
I understand what they believe, that Jesus Christ is not God.
Yes.
I understand that. And that's
Okay.
patently what flipping Christianity is based on.
Yes.
So how on earth can they believe that we are worshipping the same God?
The problem is you as a Christian don't believe you're worshipping the same God. They don't have the issue you have. They see it as you're worshipping the same God. The God is, it's kind of like me
Do they
saying...
see Jesus as a prophet
Yes.
and not God?
Yes.
What does that mean for Christianity?
It means that you're doing something wrong. You see
If
Christ as wrong.
Christianity is literally grounded, based in believing that Jesus Christ, God, died for our sins,
Okay.
what does that say about what they believe about
What do Christians think Jesus is God?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't understand.
I thought
Yes.
He's the Son of God.
No, the Son of God, but
He's
God,
Son of God, but
he,
He's made God. He is God.
it's
He's
more the
God, and
doctrine.
he came down into the world as in human form, and He's God. Like He's God. That's why we do the whole 3 in 1. It's God the Father, God the Son, and God the Spirit.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, I need to.
The second person of the Trinity became man.
I thought you always thought he was a Jew.
but not in the same way. Obviously, I know you're not saying this, but not in the same way as in the same way we have kids. You know what I'm saying? Just begotten of Him, as in came from Him.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Why do you claim to be Christian if Islam songs to me from your mouth like the waviest one?
This is nothing to do with me. Let's not make this about me.
Asking you a
No, we're
personal
here now,
question.
man.
I'm here.
We're
No, but
here.
talking to you.
but it's got nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm literally just laying out the differences.
Why
know
are
what
you
I'm saying?
claiming to be a Christian?
Because this is my belief system. This is it.
Two of them?
It's not,
How does
it's
that
not
work?
about 2 of them. I don't think that all of them are all the same. I believe there's truth in different things. In the same way, I don't throw away Ifa in Yoruba culture.
Sorry, stop.
I don't throw away these things.
No, I'm trying to make this simple as possible.
Okay,
Are
cool.
you a Christian?
Yes.
Are you a Muslim?
I'm not a Muslim, no. Not
Alright,
in the...
That's all I need to hear.
All right, cool. Anyway, this is for content.
I need to
So,
end
anyway.
the sentence. No, in the what?
You have to understand, I don't see things... Like, this is what happens when you have a discussion with people who see things through in a very particular way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're always going to struggle when you have a conversation with somebody who doesn't see things in the same way. You can't have that conversation. There has to be an understanding here. This is why you're seeing them as being different gods when Islam doesn't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem.
So Islam doesn't... Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you, from your perspective as a Christian, you would say, wait a minute, it's definitely different gods because this, that, and the third. There must be different people, right? But Islam doesn't say that. It's just you're seeing it wrong. Like, it's corrupted. You're still the same marks we see every day, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if I believe you came from Lewisham, like, you're still the same mark. I just got the wrong information about where you're from.
But didn't
Do you get where I'm
Islam...
coming from?
Isn't Islam influenced by the Bible?
Yeah, because it came after.
Yeah, so Islam can't then tell Christians that
No, but it depends on
it's the same God. Like you couldn't have learned from Christianity and then start dictating that Christianity's beliefs are off.
No, but it's based on what you believe and the revelation given to prophets and stuff like that. And if you believe that the revelation given to Muhammad is a particular way, then you're going to believe what's been said, which is that, okay, wait a minute, over a certain amount of time, these scriptures have been changed, has been tampered. Brent's mentioned on the show before. Obviously, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but he's basically said stuff about.
You, don't worry about that.
Yeah, 100%. But he said stuff about, okay, you know what? Certain books are not in the Bible anymore. Certain books have been taken out. And certain books have been added. That's not in the same way.
I'm going to say, you mean the Quran?
No, not in the same way. I know Muslims will basically say 100% it's never been tampered with.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would, based on my own studies and things of that nature, I would beg to differ. But it definitely hasn't been touched in the same way as the Bible has. So from their perspective, it's like, cool. If everything was cool, there wouldn't necessarily be the need for Muhammad.
Yeah.
But things had to be corrected. You see what I'm saying? People had fallen off the path. You see what I'm saying? So that's basically how it works.
Interesting.
But yeah. But anyway, we've forgotten about the woman's dilemma.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I'm not saying necessarily, when I said this is grounds for divorce, I mean, if I was in this situation, this is how I give people advice, my friends, family, this is how I deal with things. This would be 100% grounds for divorce, but divorce is not going to be the first thing I jump to do. I think, like Iman was saying, I think you need to have a conversation with that. And like I was saying, it depends how deep he's into it. If it's a thing where he's just exploring right now, then you can have conversations about that, and you can also speak to like elders in your church, people that you guys can confide in and that, you know, help you and stuff like that, can speak to you. If it's a thing where he's already converted and did that, what was that thing you said?
Shahada.
That's it. If he's already done that and he's like, this is who I am, this is my new truth, now you've got to sit down and figure out what it is that you need to do for yourself and your faith, where you don't lose your faith or you don't compromise on your beliefs and your faith, because he's clearly going after his beliefs now. So you need to do that for yourself as well. But I do pray that God gives you the wisdom to know what to do, man, because that's not an easy dilemma. That's not an easy thing to be in. But love and blessings to you, sister.
Yes, keep us updated, man.
Yeah, let us know. All right. Well, anyone else, if you've got dilemmas, send in for asking for a friend, sis, what would you do? Our number is 075 6484 1073. You're more than welcome to WhatsApp or text, or if you would like to email instead, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Let us know, if it's asking for a friend, sis, what would you do? But yeah, man, let's get into our last headlines for today.
All right, people. So our last headlines. The first one takes us to Haiti, where Haiti's government declared a 72-hour state of emergency on Sunday after armed gangs stormed a major prison. This is a bit of an update on what we reported yesterday. So at least 12 people were killed, unfortunately, and about 3,700 inmates escaped in the jailbreak. Gang leaders are demanding the resignation of the incumbent Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, whose whereabouts are unknown since he travelled to Kenya. Under a political deal, Mr. Henry was due to stand down by the 7th of February, but planned elections were not held and he remains in post. Speaking to BBC's Newsday, Claude Joseph, who was serving as acting Prime Minister when President Moise was assassinated and who is now head of the opposition party called Those Committed to Development, said Haiti was living through a nightmare. Mr. Joseph said Prime Minister Henry wanted to stay as long as possible in charge. The US Embassy in Port-au-Prince on Sunday urged its citizens to leave Haiti as soon as possible. The French Embassy said it was closing visa services as a precaution. Next headline, big trigger warning on this one, man. Big trigger warning, guys. Give you a second. A tourist has alleged that she was gang raped and her partner was attacked.
Oh.
We heard about it?
Yeah, very horrible.
While camping in India, sparking outrage and the arrest of 3 male suspects. So the woman, who was Brazilian-Spanish dual nationality, shared her account of the incident on Instagram, where the couple has drawn a large following tracking their motorcycle tour of Asia. So the woman said, they raped me, they took turns while some watched, and they stayed like that for about 2 hours. She also added that her and her husband had decided to camp in the town since they found no hotels to stay at overnight. The couple looked to have been beaten up when local police found them late Friday by a roadside. And police in India's eastern state of Jharkhand, where the alleged incident took place, said that 3 men had been arrested and that they were hunting for 4 more. And our last headline...
Sorry, About that, there was a video they released yesterday, yeah, and so there's been a lot of conversation since that about sexual assault and stuff in India and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of women, like people that lived there before, it's a thing, it's a whole thing, and apparently it's not, like the way they report it, the statistics is not a reflection of what the reality is. But I saw a video of the couple sitting there, and obviously because we have been talking about India a lot and blah, 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 the man's out here talking about, oh, we're not saying India's a bad place. Da-da-da. Are you sick? As your wife, I can't be sitting next to you and this tragic thing's happened to me. You're telling me India's not a bad place.
That's insane.
Perhaps you already know what that ground's for. Girl, you know. I need that on merch, actually. That'd be cool. On a phone case or something. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
Very sad.
Very sad.
Last headline, trigger warning in this one. And the O2 Academy Brixton will reopen in April.
Do you know, sorry.
Yeah.
It's a lot of foolishness in the streets.
Yeah, there's going to be a series of tribute acts, and this happened obviously 16 months. Well, April will mark 16 months after a deadly crush at the venue, which killed 2 people. So security guard Gabby Hutchinson, who was 23, and Rebecca Ikumelo, who was 33, were killed when fans without tickets tried to force their way into a show by Nigerian Afrobeat artist Ashake on December the 15th, 2022. The South London venue faced permanent closure after the Met Police urged the council to remove its licence. But following a 2-day hearing in September of last year, Lambeth Council voted to allow the venue to continue operating, providing it meets 77 extensive and robust new conditions. The company which owns, I should say, the Brixton Academy said it has developed new safety measures in an effort to have its licence restored, including stronger doors, a better queuing system, and more secure ticketing. The venue has spent £1.2 million on maintenance and improvements in 2023, despite being closed. This is what a hearing was told. And a statement on X said that O2 Academy Brixton will reopen on Friday, the 19th of April, with Nirvana UK, which is a tribute to Nirvana, and the Smiths, also a tribute to the Smiths, followed by Friday, the 26th of April, with Definitely Might Be. I don't need to be promoting these other artists, but basically that's the point. It's going to be opening from the 19th of April.
Do you know what's mad? Is that they're saying that it's people that didn't have tickets that went in. That's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is people that didn't have tickets were able to bribe the security there to get into the venue, and the people that did have tickets were outside. That's so wild that they opened it back up, considering literally 2 people died and one of them is still in critical condition.
Still.
Yeah. Mad. So mad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but that's it for the headlines, man. Time to pay the bills.
Okay, let's get into reaction. I clock randomly.
I ain't even got it on my phone.
So you just bareback live. Bareback. Okay, that pissed me off. Just. You're living on the wild side, you know. That's wild. On the iPad and the iPhone and the other front. That's wild. Gosh, you fear no man.
But
Damn.
I'll show you my paperwork, man. I'm clean. Listen. Last night. Well, sorry. Welcome to the reaction, people. I'm going to read out our sports headlines. North London's red again. They're happy over there. Arsenal put on a show last night by, well, apparently Sheffield United were abysmal. Let's just get straight into this. It says Arsenal cruised to a 7th successive Premier League win as they put 6 past the dreadful Sheffield United side at Bramall Lane. The Gunners were 3-0 up inside 13 minutes and led 5-0 at half-time against the league bottom side. Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Declan Rice and Ben White scored with an own goal from Jayden Bogle for Mikel Arteta's team. The win ensures Arsenal move 2 points behind leaders Liverpool. It keeps the Gunners in the thick of the title race, while in contrast Sheffield United are 11 points from safety with just 11 games remaining. It's not even that much football left, you know. It's crazy. I think we've got international break in March. This month we've got international break, and after that it's just serious times, man. Feels very sweet. So you're all cooking. I told you you're all gonna smash them up, Brent.
Brent is in shock from asking for a friend. Oh, you okay? Are you okay? No, he's not okay.
Okay.
And did I contest it?
Oh, of course not.
All right. All right.
The Chelsea striker is pleading not guilty to racially aggravated offence. So Chelsea striker Sam Kerr is set to face trial after being charged with racially aggravated harassment of a police officer. The 30-year-old Australia international pleaded not guilty to the offence at a court hearing on Monday. The Crown Prosecution Service said, Kerr is scheduled to appear at Wimbledon Magistrates Court on the 1st of February 2025. It follows an alleged incident in January 2023. The charge relates to an incident involving a police officer who was responding to a complaint involving a taxi fare on the 30th of January 2023 in Twickenham. There we go. What avenues we got here? Oh, well, some stuff for you to look out for in the Champions League ties this week, today and tomorrow. We've got going on. So there's 4 UEFA Champions League round of 16 deciders take place this week. And the tension and drama is guaranteed. You get me? Tonight we got Bayern. They're in danger of going out, actually, because they lost 1-0 in Rome in the first leg, to Lazio. So you got that. Real Sociedad, they tried to hold out against Paris. Like for nearly an hour, they done their thing, but then they went down 2-0, so that's all over there. And then obviously we got Man City, them hosting Copenhagen on Wednesday night, but they won 3-1 in Denmark, so I'm guessing that's going to be done as well. We've got a lot going on in Champions League football. Our last headline for the day, good news. Dillian Whyte's been cleared to resume boxing, man. That's good news, isn't it?
6 months later, yeah, man.
Yeah, we like Dillian, man. So let's see what's going on there. Dillian Whyte has been cleared to continue his career after an investigation confirmed that a positive drug test was caused by a contaminated supplement. Whyte's scheduled rematch against Anthony Joshua last August was cancelled after the 35-year-old returned adverse analytical findings in a pre-fight test by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association. But Whyte, who trains in the United States with Buddy McGirt and is licensed by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, was found to have been the innocent victim of contamination of a nutritional supplement following an extensive investigation. According to documentation seen exclusively by Sky Sports, the leading forensic expert who conducted the investigation concluded that my expert view is that Mr. Whyte was the victim of a contaminated supplement that did not disclose among its ingredients, and he did not ingest the contaminant intentionally. It's been really tough because I knew I was innocent, but then you can't talk, you can't say nothing. Whyte told Sky Sports as he explained why he had remained silent during a lengthy investigatory process. You have to be professional, trust the process, trust the lawyers, and trust the people around you. It's been tough, but tough times make tough men. First of all, I'm relieved more than anything, but of course I'm angry as well because it cost me so much. The most important thing is it cost me is a chance to beat AJ. Everything else after that is secondary. But you know, it's a mix of emotions. But yeah.
I think I hear tough times. I thought we were going to say tough times ever last.
Tough times don't last. Tough people do, man.
Whatever Darko said.
Is that what she said?
I think Darko said something about tough times. It's in someone's song.
That's a good saying, though. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. Agree with that? Brent had something you wanted to discuss.
This is the screen grab I got, right? And this is the last game, isn't it? This is the run-in. Because right now it's 3-2-1. Is 63? Yeah, 63, 62 and 61. And obviously this Saturday we can go top by beating Brentford. And then Liverpool and Man City face each other the next day.
I see what you're saying.
Do you understand?
Is Brentford away?
Yeah. No, it's home.
Okay.
So I'm expecting a win, right? So on Saturday we'll be top of the table, right? And then I'm looking forward to the game afterwards, the next day. All right, but this is the run-in. What I want to ask you is, based on what you see here, who fares the worst? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Who's got the hardest running?
Yeah.
1 second, people. I'm reading the running. City, Brighton, Sheffield United, Palace, Fulham, West Ham, Spurs, Wolves, Everton, Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa, Palace, Luton, Spurs, Forest, Wolves, Fulham, West Ham, Brighton. That's pretty tough, you know. Brentford, City, Luton, Brighton, Villa, Wolves, Spurs, Bournemouth, United, Everton, Chelsea. Ooh. You just running.
Right?
Right.
Right?
You just
And we have Man City early doors,
Wait,
right?
Everton's at home. Bournemouth. Even if it's at home, Bournemouth have been decent this year. Chelsea at home, that's still a big game. Spurs is a derby. Wolves away, that's all right. Villa, that's a homey thing. Brighton are moving shaky. If Luton was away, it would have been a bit more troublesome. Yeah, it's I'm not gonna lie though. It's tough. Let me see again. What City? Where would the banana skins come? Obviously, Liverpool and Arsenal back to back's tough.
Mm-hmm. And that's a Villa.
Yeah, but
at home, yeah.
that's at home. We'll sort it out. Spurs is away. They do them. There's not any real banana skins there. They could drop points because it's the Prem, but potentially after Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa,
yeah, it should be.
And they probably won't. But I'm saying it should be pretty straightforward. They could do all of them. Liverpool, they got. Well, the kind of. I'm not even gonna lie as well.
The kind of hardest running.
Who, Liverpool?
Yeah.
The kind of form Liverpool's in.
Yeah.
The kind of form Liverpool's in. They should, apart from City, they should do all them, man. Every
Serious?
last one of them. Yeah.
The form they're in.
Yeah.
Really?
Like the way they're churning out the results. Obviously, on form, I know Arsenal are the form team of the league at the minute. But I'm saying that the way Liverpool are getting the results. You know what I'm trying to say? That the type of football that they're playing and the way that they're getting the results. They've been doing that. They got with their second choice goalkeeper as well and stuff like that. Like apart from the City game, I'm a betting man. I'd put money on Liverpool to beat all of them, man. Every last one of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would.
Fair enough.
I feel like you got the hardest running, you know?
Serious?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Because of what have you won? Where have you won? Your last 7 on the spin?
Yeah.
It's not gonna. How long is it gonna go on for?
Sorry, what has Liverpool just won? Not 7 on the spin?
Yeah, but obviously.
And Man City.
Why are you watching Man City? That's where you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna watch Man City and compare yourself to them. Talk about because Man City can do it, you can do it. This is what the problem is.
Wait.
You know, sometimes you gotta tell brethren, don't watch your brethren. Don't worry what your brethren.
Damn it, this is my fault.
You see what's good for your friends ain't always good for you. Don't worry because this man can do this. You're talking about don't be watching them, man. Then worry about yourself and stay in your lane. You know what I'm trying to say? City can go on a 10, 15 wins in a row thing. Don't look over City and talk about City just done it. Why can't we do it? Because you're not City, rude boy. Yeah, and you're not Liverpool either. This is what I'm telling you. That run is gonna stop somewhere in this thing, innit? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it is going to. Cities could potentially not. Cities could go all the way and do it. Use lot's run is gonna stop. I can't pinpoint where it's gonna, but it is gonna. You have to take that into consideration.
100%, I agree with you. The last point, I have to take into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
We started this exchange, and I said, don't get distracted, by you saying we've won the last 7, right? Yes?
Yeah.
And you said, you've won the last 7. Okay, then. So in your mind, you banked that information.
Yeah.
And it influenced what you were about to say next. And then I went to Liverpool, but Liverpool has just won the last 7. Yes?
Yeah.
And then I went to say, which was a mistake, City won the last 7. And that's when you say, hey, don't compare yourself to the City because you're not City. I understand that logic. It was my mistake mentioning City, right? Our form right now is the best in the league.
Yeah, but that's what I say. Is it going to stay that to the end of the season? That's what you're saying.
It may or it may not, but all signs point to it leaning that way. Do you understand? And we're now having some players coming back. Our squad is being fattened up more than it was last year. Do you understand? Yes, we're in the Champions League, so that is also something that's an element or a factor that we didn't factor in last year because we weren't in it.
Yeah.
But you said that we have the hardest run in. Is it
Brentford? I just go through. I just go through. Obviously, like you are better than, apart from City, you are better than all the teams that you're going to play anyway.
I want you to call it. Brentford, are we winning?
Well, this is what I'll tell you now. Yeah, Usually at home, you should probably beat Brentford, but Brentford are a tough game. That's a tough game. So anything could happen there. And even if you do win and they give you a decent game, that goes into City. City's anything. I'll put City there. Luton at home. I should.
Don't run.
No,
so
I'm just
Brentford
saying.
is a win.
Huh?
Brentford's a win.
I don't know.
You said we should, so I'll
Yeah,
call
you
it a
should,
win.
but I'm saying I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Like Luton, I'm calling it a win. Luton, I'm saying you at home you beat Luton. City, I don't know. At home you beat Luton. Brighton have been moving meaty recently, but they're going to be at home and they're a decent team and that's a big game. So again, there's a challenge there. Villa, there's a challenge there. Wolves, that's away. That's a challenge there. Don't play with O'Neill. He's got them playing good. Spurs, it's a derby. You get me? Bournemouth have been surprising teams all season. Solanke's been scoring goals all season. Like, so again, I'm not saying that you're going to win, but you got games on your hands. These are games on your hands. Man United away, that's Man United. Everton, I expect you to do them. And then Chelsea at home, that's a big game as well. That's Chelsea. So there's a lot going on here in this running.
Any game you can say the same thing.
That's with the mentalities, yeah, but with Liverpool and City, you just expect them to dice up most of them, man. It's just expected.
So let's look at Liverpool. Because seeing as you say that City, you shouldn't look at any of City's games. So Man City, are they winning?
Don't know. Can go either way. Brighton at home, I expect them to beat them.
I see them beating City.
But then, okay, cool. Then so you expect them to beat City. I expect them to beat Brighton. I expect them to beat Sheffield. I expect them to beat United. I expect them to beat Palace. And I expect them to beat Fulham. And I expect them to beat West Ham. Tottenham could go either way. Villa's going to be hard, but I expect them to beat them as well. And Wolves and Everton, yeah.
You're just never mind. This is I need to take off the screen because you're just running through it without any pause at all.
Because that's how
whatsoever.
I feel
Like
about
you've been watching
Liverpool.
Liverpool games for the last 7 games.
I've been watching Liverpool play, you know.
You ain't been watching football.
I have.
Every single time you come and you say, "I missed the games."
I've missed the big game because I've been doing stuff, but I've been watching football.
Did you watch Liverpool's last game?
I've been watching more Match of the Day. Yeah, I watched Nunes score that goal. Yeah.
How was that?
How was that? What, the goal?
How was the game?
They got it done. They stood in the last minute. They done what they needed to do. They was creating chances throughout all throughout the game as well. Nunes should have scored. Nunes should have scored more than the one.
We got a message from Travis. Hold up. Let me do my due diligence.
Am I being biased?
Don't worry. It doesn't matter at this point. It don't matter anymore.
I'm about to put your email up.
No.
Oh.
I'm about to put the Instagram up. He sent a photo. Okay. All right. So this is dropping. Hold on. This is dropping tonight and it's available on BBC Songs. Okay.
6.
Get some confetti. Okay, everybody, tune in tonight on BBC Songs because Rum Punch.
Okay.
Rum Punch. 1 minute of some punch.
Okay.
Is going to be available tonight.
Is
And
it?
he's going to come through on Thursday,
Sick.
I believe, to talk about his show and what he's been up to.
Yeah. So this is the show I was talking about that time when I said I went to the live recording of it. So tune in to hear my laughter in the audience. It's really good though. It's really
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it
really
too.
sick. And
Right,
you know I
I'm
don't lie
looking
for
forward
shit.
to
I don't know how to lie. But it's really good. I'm excited to speak to him on
Did
Thursday.
you say?
I can't lie.
Yeah, I believe you.
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you. It
Fair enough.
was an omission. Actually, was it an omission even? You didn't ask. No, actually, no, you did ask.
You are funny.
Never mind, people.
What
I've
was he
seen
saying?
these raps online. They're sensational. No, I'll put it. Let's go to done it here, please.
Cool.
What did you say before?
First, but I need to go get some.
I love a chicken. Chicken thighs is great to have in food, you know. I think it's the best part. Chicken
go
breast
wrong.
is dead.
I like chicken breast.
Dry as heck.
So we have a gravy and thing, sauce.
What about tofu?
Pardon?
What about tofu?
Should have kept that to yourself. Oh dear.
Yeah, Brent, put something on the screen, please.
I'm going to see if it can actually fit. Okay. Let's see. If I
Can we get a zoom? Is that the biggest zoom we can get?
First of all, yeah.
Sorry.
We got Beanos, man.
This
Beanos' stories finish me, and I just read this.
Huh? You say you just read this?
I did, man.
Look, man. Look at what's going on in the world, man. You could zoom it higher. I could read it for them, Brent.
Yep.
Get closer.
No, you're happy to deliver a message. Look at you.
Huh?
I'm talking to this man over here.
I'll deliver the message, man, because this is what's going on in the world. So this is what she's putting on. This is what she's posting. Yeah. She said, "I'm dealing with a bipolar man, and it makes me sick. First, he dated me for 2 months, and he opened his home to me and my 3 kids. We moved out of my mum's house and into his townhouse. And into his townhome. I registered my kids in his school district. He gave me a spare room to braid hair and earn money. We had a fun and loving vibe. I know he loves me and adores my kids. But I made one mistake and he threw us all out.
Imagine.
My side dude, let's go again. My side dude stopped by to get his braids done and borrow some money. I also gave him a quick blowjob. I did not know there was a camera in my braiding room or I wouldn't have slipped up like that.
That's what finished me.
I apologized, but Mr. Bipolar switched up on me and threw me and the kids and all our things in the front yard. I took what I could fit in the Uber. I can't believe how he snapped and turned on us like that. What relationship red flags did I miss?
You.
I'm so scared to be vulnerable with a man again.
She is the red flag she missed. You are the red flag. I thought it couldn't get wet, but she said, yeah, that if there wasn't a camera there, she wouldn't have done it. I thought, okay. And then when she went on to say, what red flags did I miss? I said, you missed yourself. You missed yourself.
Talk about Mr. Bipolar here.
Mr. Bipolar.
Is she crazy or something?
Mr. Bipolar is funny there.
What?
Mr.
No,
Bipolar
wait
acting
there.
up again.
Who's bipolar? Who's bipolar? Her or him?
Everybody. Everybody. Hey, the kids. Everybody. The Uber driver. Everybody. So Mr. Bipolar over here.
And this is why people ain't got no respect, because why are you making your ex come over to your man's yard? Your man's moved you into your yard and set you up with a business in the yard. Why is your ex allowed to come and get his hair done? That don't make sense.
The same.
It's not really the X, is it? It's the side piece, isn't it?
Huh?
The side piece, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an X, isn't it? It's an X turned quickie. It's not a side piece. That's not a side piece's work.
Did she say ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, is that an X?
Well, she said side piece, innit?
I thought she said X.
She said, my side dude stopped by to get his braids done.
Oh, side piece. Oh, my bad.
My side dude stopped by to get his braids done and borrow some money.
Oh, I thought it was an X. Oh,
So she's
girl.
holding him down as well.
While another man holds her down.
I suppose that's just the game, though, isn't it?
Like good business to me.
See, and this is what the real problem is here, man. Women.
You're right. What? Don't you dare. What is what the real problem is? Don't you dare.
We're not going to do it, no?
Have you met any woman like this before? Not the...
Not the comment.
Yeah.
Like the woman before. That's interesting. That's a great question, actually.
Have I met a woman like this before? What, with the goal and audacity to, or a woman that partakes in side men?
No. The entitlement, the
Um,
complete lack of self-awareness. That
The Lulu
what
of it all.
yeah.
I met
The
a few
Lulu.
too.
Yeah, I have.
So
Yeah.
I said I met a few.
I'm not shocked. I think it's growing by the day.
I've seen there's more of them out there.
I believe so.
Oh, God.
Damn shame.
You should came on Beyonce's internet to say this.
I know, it's crazy. I did wonder, though, was the picture of the girl that they put up there her? Because I think that's how I would have. Because I went through that page. I decided to go through the page because what the page was called, I thought, interesting.
Is it
But
red
then when
pill?
yeah, it's red pill. Very red pill. Because
So
I was like,
could
I
it
don't
be
think that's a good...
fabricated.
I think, no, not even... Well, it could be. But I think the picture of that girl there, I was like, that's out of order because you just seen a girl that has nice hair, nice lashes, nice whatever. And men like that, they don't get none. So they get upset that there's women like that they could never be able to get. And I just thought you just attach this random girl's picture to this scenario. That's wild.
So that's not the girl?
I don't think that's the girl.
It's a red pill page.
It's a red pill page.
That's not the girl.
No, because what's his name? Russell Wilson had an interview the other day, and whatnot. And he was talking about how like from when he met Ciara, he knew that he was like he knew that he was going to step up to be Lil Future's father figure, blah blah blah, whatever. That page has got an interview of him, and then like they're calling him a simp and like doing all sorts, and then they've got like random pictures of like girls with like BBL, and they're saying what did they say? I think they said something like, oh, BBL's killing you guys, and they had another picture of a guy, and they're like, oh, reply here like a simp, like. So it's a red pill page, like heavily red pill page. So that picture, I don't think that's the girl. Because if someone's sending a dilemma or whatever, like that's not a girl. They just got a picture of a girl that looks in that aesthetic and they've attached it to that.
So he said they just wanted to take just opportunity just to point out women's lack of accountability.
Yeah, because that's the page. Because I literally, that's why I was scrolling through, well, one of the times I was scrolling through things. But yeah, I thought, let me go through the page because it's called like Hose something. Let me get exactly what it's called. Because the page name is what made me think.
I didn't even see the page name.
What made you go with that verse?
Maybe the page is done out here. Maybe the Red Pill Society is done out here.
So the page is
Brent
called...
ain't feeling that. Brent wants it to be...
Yeah, the page is called
Brent
Ho
wants it
Busters.
to be...
The page is called Ho Busters.
Ho Busters.
Ho Busters.
Oh, so they bust the hoes.
Alleged hoes.
So, this might be authentic then.
It's not authentic.
They're catching them out.
No, they're not. Because again, it's a page and they just got all these women there.
That
and
they
they're just
busted?
cussing them. No, but they're normal women minding their business. They don't know whether they're hoes or not, but they're just making comments at them. It's a bullying page.
There's a page, there's a thing called like Watch Buster, and they go around finding people with fake watches, innit? They see you got fake watches and they loud you up. Ha ha, busted. You know what I'm trying to say? So if it's called Hole Buster, I'm assuming these are authentic hoes that have been caught out in the act.
No, it's not. Because again, as I'm telling you, they're innocent women who have just posted on their own normal social page and the page has then decided to say stuff about them.
It's tough, man. Just quickly, Prince wants us to ask, have you guys watched the Jasani X
Trend Central interview?
Who's Jasani?
Who's Jasani?
Isn't that the young lady
the Omale one?
Was
the one on the
dancing?
stage?
No, I'm not watching that because I think that, again, for me, I just saw that stuff as misogyny. Because what was it? Kai Cenat, he wanted her to, after the whole thing was trending, wanted her to come on his stream or whatnot. She declined and she said, if you want me to come, then pay me then. He started to cuss her out for wanting payment, but then he paid the guy for coming on. I don't understand that. So I'm not watching any of that nonsense because I think sometimes things happen that are anomalies for the most part, and people use that as their way to their aggression and their hatred for women. They use that as a time to shine. I don't care about stuff like that.
Users' bandwidth for nonsense is so huge, you know.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, all users. I don't know how you do it.
Because why is she having an interview?
But people don't even know these people. I've been bombarded with this. Was it Omelette?
Yeah.
I've been bombarded with it, so I'm very much aware of it. I couldn't tell you what anybody looks like. Not Omelette, not the brother, not the girlfriend.
So funny. I don't even know what Omelette looks like.
No, but I couldn't tell you who anybody is. And if I had it my way, I wouldn't even. But you really consume this stuff, innit?
I never thought that. I don't know what he looks like.
Huh?
Omelette.
I don't know what anybody in this whole situation looks like. I don't know.
I like these songs as well.
You don't really care about this stuff, innit?
But people, no, but do you know what's mad? That people have been sending her death threats.
What?
That's why she's doing. That's why she's doing interviews.
For what though?
For dancing with him on stage. From when it happened, she said she's been receiving death threats from people, and people have been saying like cussing, like being horrible to her in her DMs and stuff. But people do that on social media. It's mad. It's mad. The thing that people just do. They just don't like. People will not like something that you do, or they don't agree with something you do, and then now they're in your DM telling you to go and kill yourself.
The internet really needs to be regulated, isn't it?
So no, man. No, I would not be watching that. Absolutely not. I told you so. I regulate what is spoken about on Word on Road. Sorry, I'm not jobless. I have things doing.
It.
Did you?
Yeah, I could give you a high level.
Nah, I don't care.
She was interviewed by a young lady. I can't remember what her name is. But
you watched it on 2, you probably didn't pick up the name.
It was interesting. The name flashed to the bottom of the screen, so I was able to read it quickly.
Why was it interesting?
Because she's gotten brand deals off the back of this.
Has she?
Yeah, she got a modeling contract.
Okay. She's pretty.
She said that when Kai Cenat called,
Yeah.
she was with her boyfriend at the time,
Okay.
and he told her not to return the call or not to answer the call, only for him
To then go and
to then go and do such and such. She was asked, "Are
A
you still
fragile little
together?"
man.
And she was like, "I don't want to like respond to that."
Okay,
And
fair.
then she probed a little bit later,
Okay.
and then I think she didn't want to basically share it because the guy is proper vexed with her. And I don't think he's even talking to her, and she doesn't
Yeah,
want
because
to.
if she said they're still together, people are gonna call him a simp and start bullying him.
But it sounds like she wants him back.
Yeah, she would though. Because she said it was so funny. Because she's the one who paid for the concert. She like for her, she's like, I'm sorry. So of course she would want him. I get why she would want him back. Because he's not the one that disrespected her. She's disrespected him. So the person that's been the disrespectee always wants to be taken back.
She also said that, but he knows me, so he shouldn't have acted.
She said that though. She said they had a conversation about
He
it.
was influenced by everybody else doing the talkie.
I believe that because she said when she released a TikTok one time before she did the interview, she actually said that they'd had a conversation that Omale pulls girls up at the concert. So if he pulls me, I'm going. And also because the free shots I was talking about, like why would you be front row like that? When you know that she's had a conversation with you saying that if this man calls me up, I'm going up. And then now you want to be front row with me. And then now you want to act shocked. Anyway, what do people, man? What are the best all parties involved, man? You already know.
And she's 20. And
Okay.
she said that she just wanted to live her best life and have fun.
I hear it. She's 20. That's what 20-year-olds should be doing. Not planning to get married. Yeah, girl, get yours. Leave the guy, in fact. Have a great time. But you can't be telling me that because I went to wind up with an artist on stage, I shouldn't take Kai Sennett's call, but then you turn around and take Kai Sennett. We're even now. That's that.
God damn. Well, everyone's done it.
Everybody.
Everyone's done it. Let's get into it, actual.
Everybody. All right, people, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Pick up our researchers, editors, all that great stuff. Please don't forget to like this wonderful video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that great stuff. Drop in your group chats, put other people on, all that kind of stuff. Pick up the day oneers though. Just felt in my spirit to big up everyone that's really been here with us. We're going to turn 2 next month. So I love an anniversary. But big up all of y'all. Like, y'all been here before things blow up for us. So do with that information what you will. Follow us on social media platforms, The Day After TNB. Why are you laughing?
Because you're funny.
Thank you. Follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok as well, The Day After TNB. Connect with us, all that great stuff, man. Just interact, all that lovely stuff. Also, if you want to DM us, if you want to send your dilemmas, if you want to inquire about the show, if you want to feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Don't forget, tonight, check out Rum Punch on BBC Sounds. It'd be really cool, actually, if all of you, if a lot of people watch it, or listen to it, sorry. And then if you've got questions for Travis on Thursday, that'd be really cool. But like we always say, let's support people, man. Support our own content and all that great stuff. Have a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow.
Peace.
Ciao.